A perfect 4-0 against the Comets so far this year. The Crunch have hit the ice wearing their lavender jerseys tonight as part of Hockey Fights Cancer Night to benefit the Upstate Cancer Center. Select jerseys will be auctioned off on the ice immediately following the game. They are white-based jerseys with lavender shoulders, numbers, and trim. And, of course, the Crunch wearing their regular blue pants with a white lightning bolt down the side of the pants. So those are the specialty jerseys tonight for the Crunch. Comets are here looking to snap a 7-game winless streak. It is their second consecutive 7-game winless. They lost 7 in a row to start the year, won 2 straight, and now have gone on another 7-game winless spell, trying to get just their 3rd win of the year. Tonight's Tully's youth player, Kieran McGriff, skating around the rink right now. He is in the Utica end of the ice as he loops in behind that net, waving a large Crunch flag. He now circles up the far side. He's getting cheered on heavily by the crowd here tonight. Scoots his way past the Utica bench, and the youngster from Camillus Youth Hockey stops at the blue line next to Crunch forward Wojtek Stachowiak ahead of tonight's performance of the national anthem, which will be performed by Liverpool High School Concert Choir. Let's listen in.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The performance of the national anthem tonight by Liverpool High School Concert Choir. And with that, we are approaching puck drop tonight. But first is ceremonial puck drop as part of Hockey Fights Cancer Night.
Ceremonial puck drop. Crunch fans, please welcome to the ice Dr. Jason Wallen, a board-certified thoracic surgeon and associate professor of surgery at Upstate Medical University. He is also the division chief of thoracic surgery, as well as the director of gastric and esophageal cancer program, and the medical director of the lung cancer and thoracic oncology program at the Upstate Cancer Center. Dr. Wallen has been in practice for 16 years.
Hockey Fights Cancer Night tonight. And a big representative from Upstate Medical University here this evening as part of the ceremonial puck drop taken by Boris Kachuk for the Crunch and Ryan Schmelzer for the Comets. Okay, let's get you the starting lineups. First for Utica on the road tonight, looking for their first road win of the season. Overall at 2-11-2-1, just 7 points on the year, last in the American Hockey League. On defense, Austin Strand and Ethan Edwards, with forwards Angus Cruikshank, Brian Howland, and Ryan Schmelzer. Crunch coming to play at 12-7 with 24 points, tied with Rochester and Laval for the most points in the North Division. On defense, it is Max Groshev and Chris Harper, Wojtek Stachowiak, Brendan Furry, Tristan Allard the forwards. Brandon Halverson in net tonight for the Crunch. He defends the goal to our left. Nico Dawes defends the goal to our right. Same matchup as Wednesday night in Utica. We're ready to go. The puck is dropped. Underway on this Hockey Fights Cancer Night in Syracuse. Utica controls off the faceoff, and Angus Cruikshank dumps it into the offensive zone to our left. Brandon Halverson passes up the far wall for Brendan Furry. Furry has control for the Crunch, chips it back in behind the Crunch net. Taken back by Harper, angled it up the near wall, got it to center ice. Up ahead comes Stachowiak. He turns back, throws it into a skate of a Comet. Delayed offside against the Crunch is now wiped. Comets have control. Opening minute of the game, no score. Up ahead, punched into the offensive zone by Schmelzer. Grosjean back to play it. Up the wall for Harper. Tipped it free near boards. Tying it up with a crunch. It comes back to Harper. Indirect feed for Mitchell Chafee off the bench. Drops it back for Stahoviak one-on-one against Brian Howland in a forward. Dangles down low, but a nice play by Howland. He poked it away. Late in the shift as well for Stahoviak. Puck pops into the right wing corner. Sent to the left wing side. Dylan Duke is on it for the crunch. Rims it back to the right. Tommy Miller waiting at the right blue line. Miller had 2 points last night. Just his third career 2-point game of the AHL. Passes to Chafee. Slides it right circle for Kachuk. Backhand feed in front. Deflected away. Good stick by Howland and a couple of good plays. Puck to the near circle. Tap free by Cruikshank. Long shift for that line to start the night. He finally gets off the ice. The puck comes back to center ice. Matteo Petronero slides it back in the D zone for Tommy Miller. 1:20 into the game, no score. Dylan Duke at his own blue line. Shoots it right wing for Boris Kachuk. Drills it into the offensive zone. Slowed up a bit by Dawes. It works to the left wing side. Now the gloves drop. It's Dylan Duke and Xavier Perrott. And Duke wrestles him down to the ice. Well, you knew it was coming. And an early scrap tonight between Perrott and Duke. Perrott landed a cheap elbow at the end of the game on Wednesday night and was hearing from the crunch at the end of that night. And it didn't take long, and now Roman Schmidt and Jonathan Gruden shoving each other, and the officials trying to prevent anything else from escalating here. Well, you knew it was going to happen. It only took a minute and 28 seconds. At some point, there was going to be a fight with the spillover from Wednesday night. All the players at the end of the game on Wednesday were kind of posturing at center ice. And you knew it was going to happen. Didn't know when it was going to happen, what was going to take place, who it was going to be. Had a feeling Perrott on the other side would be the one who the Crunch are going to try to get after a bit with the elbow he landed it near the end of the game on Wednesday. All right, so the fight has taken place. Perrott and Duke in the box. And off this offensive zone face-off for the Crunch, Utica wins it and clears to center. Flicked into the offensive zone by the Comets. Corralled behind the net by Brandon Halverson. Passes near side for Roman Schmidt. Slides it up for Jacob Peltier. Chips it off the glass. Settle down Abrazizi. Left wing Geeky's got a step. He shoots. That one off the outside of the post. And it goes up out of play. Good look for Connor Ginky. It was just a clear off the glass by Peltier that sprung a little 2-on-1 with Abrazizi and Geeky. Abrazizi gave it up quickly to Geeky at the left wing as he gained the zone. And Geeky's left circle shot. Let's see how the replay here. Oh, it's a crossbar actually that he hit. Over the shoulder of Dawes and off the crossbar. Close call for Connor Ginky. As he comes in after a 2-goal game on Wednesday in Utica. Puck to the right point of the offensive zone for the Crunch. Bounced free. Away from the stick of Nick Abrazizi. Edwards twists it up to the blue line, and it's cleared out by Mike Hardman down the ice. Potential icing here is whistled as Grosjean wins the race. 2:04 into the first. Our first period brought to you by the Wildcat Pizza Pub. Check it out on Milton Ave, the Home Depot Plaza in Camillus. Connor Ginky had 2 goals on Wednesday. Brendan Furry also had a 2-goal game Wednesday night. The Crunch won 5-3 against the Comets. Crunch played last night. Heartbreaking 4-3 loss against the Rochester Americans in a really entertaining game. One of the better regular season games you'll see. Rochester scored with 13.5 seconds left to break a 3-3 tie. They scored twice in the final 4 minutes. The Crunch led 3-2 halfway through the third. Here's a takeaway in front. Cooper Flinton, a save made by Dawes. Rebound left wing for Grosjean. He gets in behind the net. Grosjean out of the right wing corner now. Dishes right point Harper. Feeds left wing blue line for Cooper Flinton. Sends it back down low. Reverse pass in front got blocked. Sabrin looking for Sturtz. Now Sabrin has it again. Filters it toward the middle. Flinton just couldn't get a stick on it. Hardman intercepts and clears. Hardman hits the red line, dumps it in. The Crunch have had the better of the chances early on. 2:45 into the game, there's no score. Puck in the near side corner for Chris Harper. Starts ahead up the middle of the ice and rips it to center. It comes off a Utica stick. Corralled in the offensive zone by Brendan Furry. Then it slides away from him, but he tracks it back down. Goes safely back to the D zone. Then a quick counter left wing for Tristan Allard. Gets pinched along the glass. Jostling puck now flipped into the corner by Stahoviak. Picked up by Furry. He gets pinned along the boards by Seamus Casey. Furry hard at work. Hits a stick in the midsection. Boy, that could have been a penalty. Here's a pass to Allard in front. Knocked away. Rebound trickling loose. Taken cleared by Bordelot. He gets rid into the wall by Matteo Petronero. The Crunch have control. Petronero, who had an early fight of the game last night for the Crunch, challenged after a hard check by Mason Gertzen, one of the heavyweights in the American League. And puck comes back to Petronero, near side for Miller. Petronero hung in there, took a couple of early blows, but stayed in and got into a wrestling match at the end of the night with Gertzen. 3:40 in, no score, Crunch of the Comets. Utica has possession of their own zone. Settled down by Kalen Addison. Left wing pass to Angus Cruikshank. Pedals to center, he gains the line right wing. Shoved by Chafee, but he slips to the corner. Now knocked down by Rodzinski for the Crunch. Roman Rodzinski back into the lineup. He played Wednesday night, did not play yesterday. Puck comes into the corner. Roman Rodzinski back on it. In behind the net, a steal. Puck out in front, knocked away. Now comes to the circle for Schmelzer. Tangled up by Schmidt, poked loose. Jostling collision far side between Halloran and Chafee. Here's a chance of a save made by Halverson on Cruikshank. The puck back in the low slot, still available, thrown off the left glass. Cruikshank back to the line. A little give and go. Cruikshank steps. He shoots. Blocked in front by Flint, and that one stung him. Good shift for the Comets. Their best of the night so far. 4.5 minutes in. Osipov on the line. A shot is snatched by Halverson. Then Cruikshank comes in and gets a little shoulder in the mask of Halverson. Schmidt doesn't like that, and I understand why. And now more jostling continuing in the far corner. Clinton tied up with another Comet. That's Halloran. And now Cruikshank disengages with Schmidt and jumps into that scrum. A feisty start tonight. It's a Utica team that has won only 2 games in their first 16 matchups of the season. They've gone winless in 7 for the second time through the first 16 games. And you could sense the frustration level on Wednesday night. And early feistiness again tonight. We've already had one fight between Dylan Dukin and Xavier Perrott. And we're 4.5 minutes into the game. There's no score. That was Utica's best early shift. Angus Cruikshank with a good look on net. Halverson to make a good save. Then Cruikshank at the end of that coming in and bumping the Crunch goaltender, which drew the ire of Roman Schmidt. Comets with the offensive faceoff. Here's Gruden, drops it off right wing. Along wrister, tip just wide. Well, Chance got a piece of it down low and just missed the net. This puck is jammed out by the Crunch. Peltier hounded from behind by Kyle Criscolo. Dangerous pass by Criscolo in the D zone. It does connect, and Utica clears to center. Gruden far side, pressured from behind by Geeky. Comes back to the line for Austin Strand. Slips free down the right wall. Maneuvers it along the goal line. Held up by Chris Harper. Puck in behind the Crunch net. Abrazizi scrambles down. Nick Abrazizi slides it for Tommy Miller. Backhands it into the far boards. No one there for the Crunch. Taken by Gruden, then picked off by Harper. He dumps it to center ice. Off the near wall, reaching for Geeky, but it was out of the reach of his stick. Comets have control. Swatted up the left wing, picked off by Peltier. Cross ice feed off the near wall for Geeky. Holds it at the right point. Drifts to the middle and shoots for a tip. It comes across. Peltier scores! Tic-tac-toe sequence. Geeky went it down low toward Abrazizi, and he one-touched it from circle to circle. Peltier had 2 goals last night. He's got his 9th of the year, and the Crunch take a 1-0 lead. 5:23 into the game. The top line continues to buzz through the Crunch. Peltier with the reception at the right circle, rips it past the sprawled out Nico Dawes, and it's 1-0 Crunch. What a sequence. Geeky made the, I called it a shot pass down toward Abrazizi, but Abrazizi didn't try to tip it toward the net. He tipped it to the wide open Peltier at the right circle, and Peltier delivers the opening goal tonight. It's 1-0, 5.5 minutes in. Puck is in the defensive zone. The Comets give it away. Here comes Gabriel Sturz. He gets jostled by Nathan Legare. 1-0 Crunch in the first. On the goal for Peltier, his 9th of the year. Peltier now, well, we'll have to check on what is happening across the league, but he entered just 1 point shy of the league lead in scoring with his 22 points. Up to 23 now on the year. This puck is sent to center ice, intercepted. A collision between a couple of Crunch forwards, Sturz and Sabrin. Utica pumps the puck in. 6 minutes into the game, 1-0 Syracuse. Comets have control, pass in front. What a save by Halverson on Bordelot. Casey follows up, finds Addison, he shoots and scores. Kalen Addison rips it home, and the game is tied at 1. It was a good initial save by Kalen Addison. And jostling and barking continue back between the benches now. Addison with his celebration right in front of the Crunch bench, and the intensity level continues to rise. We're deadlocked 1-1 with 13:46 to go in this first period. second goal of the year for Kalen Addison. And a quick answer by the Comets. Halverson made a good first save on Bordelot, but the puck came back toward the circle off the rebound, and Casey found Addison, who just rips it into the top right corner. Officials might have their handful as the night continues to progress. This one has had a nasty snarl to it early. Comets with a face-off and shot into the offensive zone. Played by the Crunch in the near corner. Backhanded behind by Tommy Miller. Far side collision between Hallinan and, a bigger part, it was Osipov and Flinton. Hallinan holding the point, but the puck got past him all the way down. 6.5 minutes into the game, are tied at 1 between the Crunch and the Comets. Crookshank dishes cross ice out of the reach of Osipov. Osipov, though, tracks it down, gets in tight now. He circles behind the net, ridden into the corner by Petronero. 1-1 tie here in the first period. Approaching 7 minutes in. Here's Hallinan, dangles down low, rolls it into the corner. Good stick play there by Flinton to disrupt that puck toward the net. Now the far side corner. 7 minutes in, we're tied at 1. Puck squirts free. Petronero scrambles on it. Under pressure, gets shouldered by Kyle Criscolo, coming fresh off the bench. Crunch half control. Stahoviak turns back in the corner, dumps it in behind his own net. Miller will track it down, looks up ice, and dumps it to center ice. Skipping through the neutral zone, taken back in the D zone by Austin Strand. 1-1 tie in the first. 12:40 to go in this opening period. Austin Strand holds and passes right wing for Gruden. Rink-wide feed for Ethan Edwards. Scampers into the offensive zone, passes down off the left corner boards, poked in front. Halverson may have made a save at the near post on LaChance. Little stuff attempt. Geeky bobbles the puck far wall. Utica gets a steal, sent back to the front again. Dribbling puck, cleared up the boards once more by Harper. Now the Crunch can break it out left to right, although Peltier's pass deflected across. The Comet is down, and a penalty upcoming. It is Connor Geeky who's getting penalized. We'll see what he did there on Jonathan Gruden, but a power play coming for the Comets. 12:13 to go in this opening period. 1-1 the tie on ESPN Radio. All 13 to go in this opening period. 1-1 the tie. Connor Geeky's been assessed a major penalty. Looks like his night is done. Officials conferencing during that timeout. Geeky just pulled out of the penalty box and sent into the dressing room. We'll see what, again, I didn't see what it was, as they get an elbowing on Geeky. So a 5-minute and a game for Geeky. Fans don't like it. I, again, didn't see it. I'd have to go back and look at the replay, but it'll be a major power play for the Comets in a 1-1 tie here between the Crunch and the Comets. Now, officials again coming back toward the Syracuse bench. Joel Bouchard talking with, at the moment, Rob Hennessy. Joel Bouchard looking down his bench at the moment, electing somebody to go serve that penalty for the Crunch, and it'll be Cooper Flinton, who heads into the box for Syracuse. So a major power play for the Comets. It's all 13 in the, left in the first. We're tied at 1. Utica wins the faceoff to begin the power play. Up at the left point, Seamus Casey flips it into the left wing corner. Well, this game has changed in a hurry. Comets have the puck. It's disrupted here at the near circle by Harper. Good play. Skated ahead now by the Crunch. Stahoviak then bobbles it as he got out to center ice, and Utica tracks it back down. 1-1 tie, 8 minutes into the first period. Puck laid back in the D zone by Seamus Casey. Spins away the blue line, drops it back for Perrott. Those fighting penalties to Perrott and Duke have expired as Perrott works to center. Passes in over the line for Hardman. Swings it back right point. Casey, left wing pass to Hallinan. Back to Seamus Casey straight on. Right wing feed for Perrott. 40 seconds into this 5-minute power play for the Comets. Schmidt defending along with Harper. Set up to the right wall. Perrott kept it alive. Now taken away by the crunch. Nice play, though, by Perrott. He broke down the clearing play. Utica keeps in. Casey steps and shoots. Fought off by Halverson. Rebound in the left wing corner. Moved up the left wall for Casey. Backhand feed across to the right for Perrott. Perrott top of the right circle. He steps. Sets up Casey. Whip toward the net. Catching glove save made by Halverson. 11-11 to go in the first period. Just 1 minute into this power play for the Comets. It is a 1-1 tie. Utica can score as many times as they can on this power play. Face-off our circle is won back by the Comets again. They've won a couple of face-offs early on in this penalty kill for the Crunch. They get a steal behind the net. Kept alive by Utica in the left wing corner, Bordelot. And behind for LaChance, disrupted by Petronero. Miller pokes it up the wall. Here's Chafee, turns, passes to Petronero, bangs it off the far glass to center. Kalen Addison settles it back down. 1-1 tie, 3:35 left on this major power play for the Comets. Crunch without Connor Ginky for the rest of the night on his elbowing major penalty. Puck is dumped down the ice by Chafee into Utica territory. Nico Dawes watches it but doesn't play it behind his net. Comets take control. Addison dumps it back for Bordelot. 3:15 left on this 5-minute power play. Bordelot gains the line. Throws it off the left wall into the left wing corner. Poked at by Harper. Bordelot sticks with it. Rolls it back to the point. Addison. Quick feed to the left. Off a stick. Schmidt under duress gets it out of the zone. Addison knocks it down shy of the red line. Played back to LaChance, who gives it back to Addison once again. Nearly halfway through this opening period. 2 minutes into this 5-minute power play for the Comets. We're tied at 1. Goals by Peltier and Addison here in the first. Comets gain the zone. Somehow that was onside. It was a funky-looking entry. Puck floated back to the line. Perrott off his stick, kept it alive. Sweeps it down low. Hardman has the puck. Under pressure behind the net. Rolls it up the left wall. Comets have it back to the point. Casey walks to his right. Feeds to the left. Hallinan into the slot. Hammered wide by Angus Crookshank. Perrott now, chipped across. Hallinan, his stick breaks on him as he took a one-timer, and that allows Schmidt to drill it down the ice. Good break for the Crunch. Nico Dawes lays it behind his net. 9.5 minutes to play in this opening period. 2:15 left on this major power play for the Comets. We're tied at 1. Perrott with speed through center. He works his way into the offensive zone. Hardman back to Perrott. Waddles it behind the net up the left wall for Brian Hallinan, I beg your pardon. Now Crookshank, center point, Seamus Casey. Right wing Perrott. Hardman presents a stick in front. Pass to the corner. Here is Crookshank. Dishes left circle for Hallinan. Steps, feeds, Crookshank down low. Feeds in front, knocked away and cleared. Another good look for the Comets, but unable to connect. 1:40 to go on this major power play. And under 9 minutes to go in this opening period. We're still tied at 1. Bordelot up ice. He cuts to his left, onside, no, offside. Close call, but offside is whistled. And then Schmidt and Bordelot jostle, and then Harper and Bordelot jostle. 8:47 to go in the first period. You can see the Crunch came in with a little bit of a intention of the aggressiveness, and it is Bentham with his major power play, although they have not yet surrendered anything. Face-off will be in the neutral zone for the Comets. And Utica wins it back again. They've been hard on the faceoff so far tonight. Bordelot with a quick opportunity and a right shoulder save made by Halverson. The rebound a mile in the air. Clear to the line but not out. Left wing Bordelot. His play to the net got disrupted again by a stick of Schmidt. Stays in play and now drilled down the ice again by the Crunch. 1:15 to go on this 5-minute major power play for the Comets. Game tied 1-1. 8:20 to go in this first period. Addison up ice. He cuts to his right. Dumps it back to his left for Bordelot. Enters the zone. Left wing. It's played back to him, and he drills it around to the far side. Comes up to Ryan Schmelzer. Chips it middle of the ice. Addison back to Schmelzer at the point. Feeds left wing. Pumped back to Addison, center blue. Left wing pass with 50 to go on this 5-minute power play for the Comets. 1-1 tie in the first. 8 minutes to play. Bordelot right circle. Cross ice feed. Good stick in the lane by Furry. He wrestles for it near side. Under pressure by Chris Colo. Comes back behind the net. Slugged up the far boards and out by Petronero. Poking at it and reaching it was Peltier. Against Addison, those two jostle. Addison gets bumped by Peltier. The Comets have the puck with 25 to go on this major power play. Angus Crookshank carries back ahead. left wing side. He angles it off the wall for Schmelzer. Dump back to the left point. Seamus Casey gets away from Mitchell Chafee. Casey to the middle. Holds on his forehand. Shoots toward the net. Tipped wide right. Cruikshank follows up. Gets it up the far wall. Chafee with a bump. Kept alive by Casey. Passes for Perrott. Final seconds of the power play. Perrott into the middle. He holds. He shoots toward the net. Deflected up out of play. The Crunch survive a 5-minute major power play as Flinton comes out of the box and a whistle stops play. What a penalty kill by the Crunch. 7:12 to go. First period. They remain tied at 1 on ESPN Radio. Hey folks, the AHL hits harder on FloHockey. Every game, every goal, every hit, all season long. AHL TV on FloHockey gives you access to every AHL game. Watch your team, follow top prospects, and stay on top of all of the action on the ice. Subscribe now and stream it all live on AHL TV on FloHockey. Comets win another faceoff. Man, oh man, they're dominant on the draw so far. Point shot and a left pad save made by Halverson on a one-timer by Edwards. Crunch come up ice, pumped ahead off the linesperson. Sabourin tracks it down, passes to Grosjean, turns and shoots just wide. Rebound out in front. Stahoviak trying to get his stick on it. It's taken and cleared by the Comets. Down the ice, Grosjean is there. Pumps it off the far wall. Didn't get it quite out of the zone, however. Flinton supports, helped out by Sabourin as well. His pass picked off by Gruden. A steal behind the net. Knocked away. Sabourin got a stick on it again. Coming back to the line, Stahoviak goes cross ice. Lead pass, good one from Flinton to Sabourin. Nice moves. Rolls it toward the net. Strand just able to fend him off as Sabourin nearly dangled past him. Puck rolled into the crease. It was covered up by Dawes. 6:33 to go in the first. We're tied at 1. So the Crunch get through the 5-minute major power play. They're without Connor Geekie for the rest of the night, so we'll see how Joe Bouchard shuffles his lines around down a forward. Right now, Peltier and Abruzzese get Gabriel Sturz in the middle for this shift. Sturz wins the faceoff. Peltier, who has the goal tonight for the Crunch, feeds right point. Schmidt shoots, tipped just wide by Abruzzese. Got a good piece of it right at the inner half of the near circle and just past the left post. Dawes has the puck, goes high around the near boards. It's corralled briefly by Cruikshank, then he does settle it down further under some pressure. Pass disrupted. Cruikshank chips it out. Schmidt pumps it back toward the blue line. It's intercepted by Schmelzer. Throws it into some open ice. Onside for Osipov. Osipov jams into the middle of the ice and rolls to the near boards. Sturz up for Peltier. Curls and dishes left wing. Skating ahead, Rudzinski. Right near the red line, but he was shy of the line. Played, though, by Dawes, so that negates the icing as Hallinan got taken down or fell in the neutral zone, not sure which. He was down on the ice trying to make a change as Bordelot scoots it in. Plays it off the left wall into the offensive zone. Jammed up the near boards by Petronero for the Crunch. It's settling on the shelf. Flicked behind by Miller to Petronero. Bangs it off the left wall and gets it out. Helped out by Chafee, who made a collision on a Comet. That was Addison. Utica has control back in their own zone. A pass knocked away and dumped in by Miller. Comes into the crease off the end wall. Swatted free by Dawes. 5:15 to play in the first. We are tied at 1 between the Crunch and the Comets. Miller has the puck, backhands it through the legs of the referee and behind the net. Taken by the Comets, however. Far side, Bordelot back to the line. Addison shoots. Blocker save made by Halverson. Seamus Casey gets down low. Passes left wing, Crescolo. Cross ice feed. Body down by Gruden. Angles it back to the point. Addison left wing. Casey one-timer. Another save made by Halverson. Rebound taken by Petronero. He gets jostled. Comets have control. Now the Crunch get it back. Rolled in behind the net with 4:45 to go in the first. Tied at 1. Petronero makes a pass to Miller. Up the near wall for Dylan Duke. Turns and dumps it back to Miller. Miller goes left wing for Petronero. Up through center for Chafee. Backhands it in, and the Crunch will make a change. 4.5 to go in the opening period. We're tied at 1. Comets slow it down behind the net. It's Ethan Edwards. A stretch pass to center. Gets held up in the neutral zone. Stahoviak back to Harper. Angles it right wing for Furry. He gets tangled up by Edwards, but works free. Furry turns to the right corner. Angles it to the right point for Harper. Toward the net, blocks. Keeps it alive away from Hardman. Now Furry down low for Allard. Allard twists to the right corner. Passes to Furry, right circle. He gets it back toward Allard to the right pie slice once more. In behind for Stahoviak. The slide hard and work for the Crunch. Spinning free is Stahoviak. Down low for Allard in the trapezoid. Finds Harper. Goes across to Grosjev. A quick wrister. Knocked out in front. Bouncing around into the slot. Boy, Dawes lost his blocker. He's in some trouble now as Harper steps free. His pass toward the front blocked. Grosjev shot blocked. It's kept alive by the Crunch. No stick now for Dawes. His blocker is back on. He was scrambling around in his crease. Stahoviak spins again. Good shift to the offensive zone. It's a line that Joe Bouchard really praised the other night. Really loved the way they played. And they're trying to get one back for the Crunch, and they do! They score! Off of Stahoviak it in, and the Crunch retake the lead. 3:25 to go in this opening period. Wojtek Stahoviak's got goals in 3 straight, and it's 2-1 Crunch. A great shift in the offensive zone. That line was doing some heavy lifting. Stahoviak, Allard, and Furry. Furry had just hopped off for a change, but played along the goal line by Allard right into the crease. Stahoviak was there, and it's 2-1 Crunch. A big-time goal for Syracuse. They got through the 5-minute major penalty kill earlier in this period, and now Stahoviak has made it 2-1 Crunch. It is the 8th goal of the season for Wojtek Stahoviak, and like we said, he's got goals in 3 consecutive games. Puck played down low behind the net. A centering feed gets blocked away. Ended up with a game winner on Wednesday night. It was a goal that was originally credited to him, then got changed, and then was given back to him later on. I guess the next morning they rechanged it. A point shot for the Crunch. Got through. Dawes made the save. Rebound flipped ahead. Crunch working hard in the offensive zone. A steal by Abrazizi. Drops it for Peltier. Finds Schmidt with room. He shoots. Blocked by Osipov. Osipov got in the lane as Schmidt wound up for a heavy slap shot. Puck to center ice. Turned back in by Schmidt. Crunch can change. 2:45 to go in a high-energy first period. Crunch leading 2-1. Utica has it. They play to center ice. It dribbles it over the Syracuse line. Petronero goes diagonally across for Scott Sabrin. Finds Clinton, gains the line. Left wing to Chuk. Passes toward the middle, Sabrin. Right wing, Miller. His shot flexed aside by Dawes with his right arm. Hard check by Sabrin along the far wall. The puck stays in for now. It does eventually work to center ice. Thrown right back in by Flinton. He's got his stick held up by Bordelos, who tries to change. Comets busted out. Cross ice pass, good one to Seamus Casey. He works his way in, gets shouldered by Harper. Grosjev takes the puck with 2 minutes to play in this first period. The Crunch leading 2-1. Banged off the near glass and down. Addison retrieves it for the Comets, whips it up and out of play. It grazed off the glass and into the seats. 1:53 to go in the first period. Wojtek Stahoviak on a tip in the crease has given the Crunch a 2-1 lead. We'll take a break on ESPN Radio. First period brought to you by the Wildcat Pizza Pub. Check him out on Milton Ave in Camillus. Crunch leading 2-1 with 1:53 to play this first period. Goals by Peltier and Stahoviak for the Crunch. They had all three of the Crunch's goals last night in their 4-3 loss in Rochester. Kalen Addison had the goal for the Comets. It came less than a minute after the Crunch had taken the 1-0 lead. Offensive zone face-off, but it's won again by the Comets. They have dominated the face-off dot so far tonight. They clear the puck to center ice. Harper posted ahead for Dylan Duke. Gets shouldered near the blue line. And now topples with a Comet. That was Duke and Chris Colo. Puck in the D zone for Groshev, up to Chafee between the circles now. Chafee hands it back off to Groshev. Minute and a half to play. It's 2-1 Crunch. Syracuse now ices it. 1:28 to go in the first period. Peltier from Abuzizi and Geeky. Geeky is done for the night. He took a major penalty for elbowing in a game misconduct. Then Addison from Casey and Bordelot, coming, like we said, less than a minute after the Crunch had scored. Then Stahoviak a couple of moments ago. His 8th from Allard and Chris Harper. 2-1 Crunch. D-zone faceoff following the icing. It's Kachuk for the Crunch, and he wins this one. Into the corner, Groshev chips it free, pokes it up for Harper, off his skate, bangs it off the wall, knocked out of the air by Duke, and he gets it out. Lead feed for Kachuk. He's got space, carries in against Osipov. Cuts back, looks for a trailer off the bench, and gets toward Radzinski, but bounced over his stick, and the Comets break out with numbers. 4-on-2 over the line, right wing, fed in the middle. Hardman, great back check by Radzinski. Broke up the shot attempt. Comets keep it alive behind the net. Here's a pass picked off by Chafee. Chafee goes far side to the near side for Radzinski. Up to the red line, spirals it in. Romain Radzinski made a good recovery on that puck that got away from him at the offensive blue line. Good back check to disrupt the chance for Mike Hardman. Radzinski has it again. 45 seconds to play this opening period. Lead pass to Furry. At his offensive blue line, twists it in. 40 seconds to play the first. It's 2-1 Crunch. Angus Crookshank dishes to the blue line. Fed to the right by Hallinan up to Schmelzer. He gets hit by Allard. It's a delayed offside against the Comets. Allard fishes the puck under his control with 25 seconds to go in this opening period. Crunch 2 and the Comets 1. Syracuse will break it out with 20 seconds to play. Far side circle now, still in their own zone for Tommy Miller. Sets it up left wing, thrown to the neutral zone. Crookshank took it away, but it bounces to Stahoviak. Left wing for Allard. They get it in with 8 seconds left. Furry cuts to the net. A pass in front by Stahoviak got blocked. He was open if it got through. Now Schmelzer goes up over the stick. Here's a puck to Petronero. He just runs out of time. He did take the shot as the buzzer was sounding. He wouldn't have counted if that had gone, but a great chance for Matteo Petronero in the final seconds of the period. He and Brian Hallinan now converge a bit as they chat with each other. First period now officially in the books. Boy, what an entertaining first period. Yesterday and so far tonight have been high energy games. Rivalry games for sure. Crunch of the Amerants, now the Crunch of the Comets. This one has had a good edge to it since the get-go. We had the early fight between Duke and Perrott at just 1:28. That set the tone for the night. A major power play that failed for the Comets, a big difference maker in that first period. It's the Crunch lead, 2-1 after 1. Hey, Crunch fans, the Black Friday deal is back. You can purchase a 10-voucher pack and receive 4 additional vouchers for free. So 14 vouchers for the price of 10 at $240. It's available now through Monday. One of the best deals of the year for the Crunch. During the regular office hours, you can call the office or you can purchase online right now at SyracuseCrunch.com/Black Friday to get your Black Friday package right now. All right, it's 2-1 Crunch after 1, and time now for our first intermission. Here's Eddie McCarthy.
Thank you, Lucas. Well, that was interesting. We had goals, we had fights, we had a game misconduct handed out, but when it's all said and done, we have a 2-1 Crunch lead on the Utica Comets after the first period. Shots on goal 10-8 in favor of Utica. Shots on goal presented by Nave Law Firm. So we have plenty to get to on our first period intermission report. But first we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll hear from Lucas, who has a conversation with Jacob Peltier, who's been on quite the tear for the Crunch over the past couple of games. Lucas and Jacob will chat after the break. Again, 2-1 Syracuse after 1. You're listening to Syracuse Crunch Hockey on ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to our first intermission. Lucas Vivaldi joined by Crunch forward Jacob Peltier. Final game of the week and final game of November for the Crunch. Jacob, 1-1 so far this week. Last night, a 4-3 loss against the Rochester Americans. What did you see in the game last night?
I think we had a good start. Boys came out to play. We know they have a good team. They have an offensive team. So we came out strong. I think we have a couple lapses of time. That we were a little sloppy. But overall, I think we can learn from it. They scored with 13 seconds left, so it hurts. But the good thing is we play tonight here. So yeah.
Does it almost hurt more when you lose in the fashion like that? We'd almost rather lose 7-0, right? How hard was it? At the end of the game last night?
It was hard. I don't think I would say I would rather lose 7-0 though, but no, it's hard. I mean, they score with 10 seconds left again, so it's a slap in the face. But I think we can, take the good things that we did all game long and kind of put it back for tonight here at home. We didn't play at home much so far this season, so I think it's going to be good for us. I think it's going to be a good opportunity to bounce back as well.
And, you go down with 13 and a half seconds to go, and you still almost come back and tie the game. I mean, there was that chance right at the end, the penalty as well. So, I mean, it just goes to show you guys are never out of a game and willing to fight until the very end.
Yeah, you know what? This year, it didn't surprise me because, I know we had a lot of talent. But I'm new, right? So I didn't know the guys, but the guys cares a lot, and it just showed the tightness of the group as well. We've been together. We have a couple new guys, 5 or 6 new guys, and I never seen a group that tight so fast. So it's promising for us. Guys want to win, and they're gonna do whatever it takes to win each night.
I have a feeling you're a part of why this group is so tight, though, because everyone we talk to say you've become a leader immediately, like one of the big leaders of this team. Where do you think from you that comes from? You jump into a new group, you're a leader right away, and people are they're talking about it too.
I came into the league. I played in the NHL. I was 20, and I was the same guy as I was in junior. I like to talk on the bench. I like to be a positive leader. So I think it helps the guys too. You won't have your A game each night, but I think when you don't have your A game and then guys pick it up for you, good things are gonna happen. And I've been playing in the league for 4 years, 5 years now, I think. And then we got Sabby, Bo. We got some good old guys that knows how to play the game and knows how to be around. And I think it's a mixture of the young guys and the old guys, and that kind of makes us tight.
Yeah, and you're, like you said, you've seen a lot in your, been around for a couple years. You're still a young guy, but you've had the experience. So how can, from your perspective though, when you're still one of those young guys, but you've seen a lot so far in your career, how much can you relate to the guys who are just jumping into this league as well?
Yeah, I mean, my first year we lost in semifinals, so I think I can relate a lot because I'm still young. I'm not that old, even though I got a nice beard. But no, I'm kidding. But no, I think but I think in my head I'm still young. I'm still 20, so doesn't matter if you're 32 or 20. For me, I'm gonna still treat you as respect, and I'm gonna help you. But yeah, I mean. For me, it's to kind of help the guys each day. It's either with, being good on the bench or in the room or off the ice as well. So yeah.
Crunch now just starting the second quarter of the season last night. It's been a turbulent month with roster moves. I mean, at first it was the forwards, including you, going up to Tampa Bay. Now it's the defensemen, top 4 defensemen at one point up with the Lightning. 4 D-men are still up with Tampa Bay. What's this month been like just to work through it and still be in a pretty good spot in terms of, the standings at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's been crazy. For the whole month we didn't play with our full team, so it's been crazy. But I think the guys did a good job. The guys that maybe don't play, they came in and they played good. We got a couple new D-men that played good for us. We got D-men that usually are on the second pair and now on the first pair and playing more and more. And they did a good job so far, so we just got to keep going, but it just shows that we got a lot of depth here.
As the Crunch gets set for Utica tonight, you just saw them on Wednesday night, a win in Utica right before the quick Thanksgiving holiday. They're a team that's obviously struggling record-wise, but never easy games in this rivalry. What's the challenge to get a win here tonight?
We know it's going to be an emotional game. Each time we play them, some things happen. So I think we just got to get back to our game plan. We just got to play a good 60 minutes. We got to come out strong. It's our home here. Boys want to win in front of our fans. So if we come out strong and we keep that for 60, we're going to be all right.
Jacob Peltier, we appreciate the time. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Luke.
Back with more in a moment on ESPN Radio.
University Arena as we continue along in our first period intermission report. The Syracuse Crunch, a 2-1 lead on the Utica Comets. Fifth time these teams have met so far this year, and we certainly had fireworks in that first period before any of our scoring got started. Fighting Majors assessed just 128 in to Dylan Duke of the Crunch, Xavier Perron of the Comets. So those two got the crowd into the game early, got the benches into the game early, and then a little over 5 minutes in, it was the Crunch who got the first goal. Points in 6 straight games now for Jacob Peltier, and he's got 7 points in 5 games this year against Utica. Has recorded at least a point every time the Crunch have played the Comets, but just 51 seconds later, the Crunch's lead did not last long. The Comets tied things up. So that made it 1-1, and again, like Lucas said, intensity level rising. That came to a head about a minute later. Connor Geekie handed a game misconduct. Syracuse, though, killed off the 5-minute major, and then feeding off the momentum of their penalty kill, Wojciech Stachowiak gave the Crunch a 2-1 lead.
Every team needs an enforcer on the ice and in the fight against cancer. Thank you to the Upstate Cancer Center and the Crunch family for checking cancer into the boards and helping to provide hope and inspiration. We are making progress in the fight. Thank you.
So that brings us to our 2-1 scoreline. The Crunch 2, the Comets won after the first period. When we return, we'll have second period action with the voice of the Crunch, Lucas Favali. 2-1 Syracuse after 1 here on ESPN Radio.
Back in Syracuse, ready for our second period. Teams flip ends. Comets in their red jerseys tonight. Black pants, red and white, black and white trim, I should say, black shoulders. From left to right, Crunch in their white jerseys with lavender shoulders. The specialty hockey fights cancer jerseys tonight. They move from right to left in this opening, beg your pardon, second period. Clock has to be reset as there was a false start on this opening face-off of the second period. And now the puck is down. A quick drop on Stachowiak. It was won by Schmelzer. Utica gets it ahead. Schmelzer gains the line. Feeds right wing. Hallonen shoots. Where's the puck? Halverson made the save. He wasn't sure where it was initially. Good chance. 9 seconds into the period for Brian Hallonen. And Stachowiak talking with the referee on that quick drop puck. Saying, what the heck? I wasn't lined up for it. I'll have to take one now against Schmelzer in the defensive zone. And this one is whistled down, and again unfairly dropped, but the linesperson who drops the puck. So the referees, in case you're new to hockey, they only drop the puck in the opening face-off of each period. The linespersons are responsible for every other drop of the puck, And that one was whistled down, and one now by the Crunch and cleared. Delayed offside against the Comets. Crunch have control, 20 seconds into our second period. And the Crunch leading 2-1. Available puck near the Crunch bench, backhanded ahead. Stahoviak knocks it free, then disrupted by Austin Strand in the low slot. Crookshank tries to clear. It's chipped out by Hallinan. Sent across the ice to Grosjev. Pumps it in deep into the offensive zone. Scaled around the near boards. Strand backhands it back for the Comets. Here is Edwards, far side Schmelzer. Puck to center, knocked away by Harper. Grabbed by Furry. 45 seconds into the second period. Comes across Grosjev, near side Harper. Harper skates up out of his own zone all the way to the red line, shoots it in. Around the roulette boards, Chafee leaves it there for Duke. Duke gets down low, drags it in front, save made. The rebound just off the skate of Chafee. Clear to the line and out by the Comets. Vetranero gets jostled by Gruden, but Gruden was the one who fell down. He didn't get much on that hit. Puck comes near the penalty box door. Who's going to get possession here? Scrum for it, 3-on-3. Chipped ahead by Kachuk. Taken by Gruden. His pass knocked away by Chafee. Grabbed by Kachuk. He gains the line. He's got a step pass in front, knocked away. Ends up on net, a save made. Played off the side of the goal now by Dylan Duke. Dumped ahead by the Comets. They get it out. 90 seconds into our second period, the Crunch of the 2-1 lead. Back in the defensive zone, Petronero looks up ice, comes to the left wing, passes ahead, it's deflected in, stays in play high off the glass behind Nico Dawes. Sturtz out here for the Crunch with Peltier and Abrazizi, so it's been Sturtz who's replaced Connor Ginky on this top line for the Crunch. Ginky assessed a game misconduct early in the game. He had an assist for the first period, then a major penalty and a game misconduct for elbowing on Jonathan Gruden. Assessed to Connor Ginky. Puck in the offensive zone for the Crunch. Grabbed by Abrazizi. Finds Rudzinski. He shoots. Blocker save. Rebound. Peltier shot save. Rebound comes back across and taken and cleared by Utica. Across the blue line. Legare angles it ahead into the offensive zone. Schmidt back for the Crunch. Jams it free. Trickles to the corner. Into the trapezoid now. Peltier slips it up the wall for Sturtz. Sturtz drifting back along the goal line. Utica peeling off the pressure to start a change. 2.5 minutes into our second period. 2-1 Crunch. Schmidt with a pass. Deflected into the offensive zone by the Crunch. Off the glass in the right corner. Sabrin lands a hard check on the forecheck. Malofsky with the Comets breaking ahead. Addison rips it far side. Missed with Casey. And it's an icing against Utica now. 17-13 left in our second period, which is brought to you by Kitty Drugs. Hosting for the holidays, swap and save at Kitty Drugs. Stock up and save on trusted brands like Simply Done household items and Life Everyday grocery products. Quality you expect, prices you'll love. Kitty Drugs, employee-owned, locally committed since 1903, and the official drugstore of the Syracuse Crunch. Offensive faceoff for the Crunch, Stahoviak against Malofsky. And Stahoviak wins it. Grosjev shoots it, blocked by Bordelot. Seamus Casey first man on it, poked away by Stahoviak. Puck ends up in the right corner, swept behind. Flinton shoulders a man off the puck, rolls it back in behind the net. Bouncing free to the left wing corner. Played up the near boards. Utica tries to clear. Stahoviak keeps, flips it in toward the crease area up in the air. It ends up in the right corner now. Sabrin gets sandwiched, makes a pass to the line. It comes left wing. Grosjev, he shoots, blocked in front. Malofsky got across and got there in time to block the shot by Grosjev. Puck played ahead, comes off a near board to the middle of the ice, ripped to center by the Comets. Tipped ahead by Utica, grabbed by Petronero behind the net. 3.5 minutes into our second period. The Crunch with a 2-1 lead. With speed through center, Mitchell Chafee filters the puck into the offensive zone, poked free by Duke, and then quickly turned back out to center ice by the Comets. Ripped back in, Petronero to the far boards. There's Edwards for Utica. Up ahead for Schmelzer. Backhands it to center ice. Glove down, Hallinan. He plays it ahead. Fending him off, at least attempting to, was Petronero. There's a penalty upcoming. And it's a holding call, I think, on Petronero. With just about 4 minutes gone in this second period. He was fending him off, but a little too much. And a holding call against the Crunch. It'll be a power play for the Comets. Their second officially of the night. The first one lasted 5 minutes. It was a major power play. So it feels like they've had more than one man advantage, although technically in the books, it's only been one power play until now. This is their second. Another penalty kill. This one coming early in the second period. Just about 4 minutes in, the Crunch leading 2-1. Peltier comes out on the penalty kill with Mitchell Chafee, Roman Schmidt, and Chris Harper. Comets ready for this drop of the puck. It's Angus Crookshank at the left circle. Crunch have taken their time getting off the bench. Chafee lines up at the dot now against Crookshank, who gets low to the ice and wins it, but it's poked out of the zone by Peltier. Good play by Peltier, and then scampers it after it against Seamus Casey. Peltier all over him. Casey, though, nice work to get away from the pressure. Feeds it for Hardman at center. Comets turn it quickly up ice. 15 seconds into their power play, they re-enter the zone. Crookshank centers, it comes into the crease. Sticked away by Halverson. Hardman has the puck off the right wall. Now Perrott back to the right point. Casey settles it down, finds Perrott right boards. Under pressure by Peltier, slips his way down the wall. Perrott back to the right point. Casey, left wing chance. One-timer save made by Halverson on a blast by Brian Hallinan. Hallinan, the pure goal scorer. He has double his goals scored in the American Hockey League versus assists in this league. He's a dominant shooter, and he's had a couple of looks tonight. Remember, he did have a shorthanded goal against the Crunch in garbage time on Wednesday, but he can score. That's a good save by Halverson. 1:28 to go on this power play. Crunch win the faceoff. Tipped behind the net by Tommy Miller. Grosjev hustles down the puck and lifts it up into the penalty box. That may be a penalty. Officials will confer. My feeling was that was a puck that went clean out of play right into the Crunch penalty box. So the officials are going to conference here. 4:34 into the second period. All four officials discussing things here near the penalty boxes. And they are pointing at Max Grosjev, a delay of game. So it'll be a 5-on-3 power play. So the Crunch penalty kill really getting put to the test tonight. They had a 5-minute major penalty kill they got through in the first period. Now there's going to be a lengthy 5-on-3 penalty play they've got to try to maneuver through here in the second period. 1 minute and 22 seconds left on the initial penalty to Petronero. Two Crunch defensemen in the box, Petronero and Grosjev. So we'll see how the penalty kill works here. 5-on-3. It's Kachuk, Chafee, and Schmidt, two forwards and a defenseman to start this 5-on-3. We've seen some brilliant 5-on-3 kills by the Crunch this year, and Boris Kachuk has been a big part of those. He gets some help with Chafee on this faceoff. The Crunch unable to clear. Utica keeps in. Perrott has it out wide, right wing. He's got a man in front, cuts to the middle, drops it for Casey. Left wing chance. One-timer save. Rebound in front. Oh, it's a scramble sequence. How did Halverson keep it out? He snow angles on the ice. Oh, remarkable work in the crease by Brandon Halverson. Couple of point-blank saves on the rebound attempts by the Comets. Brandon Halverson, spectacular work in the crease. 1:07 left on the initial penalty in the 5-on-3. Halverson made 2 or 3 denials. Hardman had the rebound chances. Somehow Halverson kept it out. Chafee now in on this face-off hard dot, joined by Peltier and Schmidt. Face-off is won by Chafee, dropped it off. Peltier to Schmidt, far side. It comes to the line, skips off of Casey's stick and comes to center ice. Big clear by the Crunch. And the bouncing puck past Seamus Casey. Comets quickly hustle back ahead. 55 seconds left of the 5-on-3. Perrott enters the zone, right wing circle. Plays it back to the right point, Casey. Slows it up, feeds forward, Perrott, right wing side, 45 to go. Played to the bottom of the right wing circle. Crookshank back up high for Perrott. Left wing for Seamus Casey. Steps to the high slot. He's got room and shoots. Stick save made by Halverson. Rebound taken by Hallinan. Back to Casey. He works, feeds. Hallinan, one-timer. Halverson, another save. And he holds on with 31 seconds to go on the penalty to Petronero. 1:09 left in the penalty to Grosjev. This lengthy 5-on-3. The Comets are racking up the shots. Brandon Halverson keeping the Crunch ahead 2-1 at the moment. Face-off coming up to his right. Crookshank out there again. This time it's Stahoviak on the face-off with Kachuk and Harper now on the penalty kill 5-on-3. Utica again wins it. Up to the left point. Seamus Casey into the middle. Right wing pass to Perrott. Top of the right ring. Feeds down low. Crookshank in tight. Back to Perrott. Great stick though by Kachuk. He tipped it away and it rolls down the ice. Dawes will pump it back to the blue line. 15 seconds to go on the first penalty to Petronero. Comets try to get up pace. They up over the red line now. Chris Colo enters the zone. 10 to go on the 5-on-3. Chris Colo in behind the net. He looks out in front. Turns back to the blue line for Kalen Addison. Walks to the middle. holds it. First power play ends. Now 5-on-4. Pass cross ice. Bounced away from Hallinan. Petronero joins the play for the Crunch out of the box. 5-on-4 power play for the Comets for another half a minute. Puck to the line. Fed to the right. There's Hardman. Pressured by Kachuk. Gets it down low for Chris Colo. Fed to the left wing wall for Brian Hallinan. High in the zone for Kalen Addison. He's got a goal already tonight. Out wide along the right wall. Steps back to the middle. Now the right shot passes to his right for Crookshank. Back to Addison again. Pumps it to Crookshank. 10 to go on the 5-on-4. Crookshank passes to the goal line. Hardman shoots, save, rebound. It's free. They score. Somehow it squirts home. And the Comets, with 3 seconds to go on the power play, have tied the game at 2. 13:29 to go in the second period. Mike Hardman forces the puck home, and Utica in the last seconds of the power play has tied the game at 2. Now, the Crunch had nearly gotten through that lengthy fight. Well, they got through the 5-on-3, but Hardman made a tough angle shot, and then he beat everyone to the rebound. It just popped up over the left shoulder of Halverson on his maybe third or fourth whack of the puck. Rolled up over the arm and in. So it is a 2-2 tie. All the officials talking about things again. I don't see what could possibly disrupt this from being a goal based on the replay we saw. And it is a 2-2 game. They haven't adjusted the scoreboard yet. Now they do. And the Comets have tied the game. A power play goal with about a second or two left on the 5-on-4 power play. The Crunch got through the 5-on-3. Nearly got through the 5-on-4, but Hardman on his, again, third or fourth chance, finally got the game tied. Now the Crunch come back up ice. It's tipped in. Here's Abrazizi. Gets down low, throws it in front, tipped wide. Peltier goes crashing in off the end wall as he got up ended near the crease. Comets 1 for 3 now on the power play tonight. They have tied the game at 2. Puck shot ahead by the Comets into the offensive zone. 7 minutes into our second period. A steal, a wraparound in front. It's stopped by Halverson. He's got it covered. I don't think he knew he had it at the near post. But it was tied up there off his pad, and Rodzinski helped point out the puck. And Halverson has it with 12:51 left in the second period. We're tied 2-2 on ESPN Radio.
The Crunch and Comfort have partnered this season to host local charitable groups and games. If you're part of a non-profit who would like to request tickets, visit SyracuseCrunch.com/comfortzone.
.51 left in the second period. The Crunch and the Comets are tied 2-2. On the power play goal by Mike Hardman on his third or fourth whack of the puck along the near post. Crunch win the faceoff and clear it up into the seats again. That one, though, off the glass. There's been a couple of hard pucks in that area. Everyone ducking for cover over there. Hey fans, prepare for a Syracuse winter with a brand new snowblower courtesy of Outdoor Power. Visit SyracuseCrunch.com/snowblower for a chance to win a Cub Cadet 2x24 snowblower capable of powering through up to a foot of snow. It's valued at $1,119. Enter now. A winner will be selected on December 18th. Tristan Allard thrown out of his face-off. 2-2 the tie. 12:48 to go in the second period. Brendan Furry in on the draw now. He wins in the D zone for the Crunch. Stepping free left wing, Rodzinski. Quotes it to center ice for Allard. Left wing for Sabourin. Posted into the left wing corner. Allard angles it behind for Furry. Furry flips it back behind for Allard. Allard slips it for Sabourin. Drilled around toward the left blue line, but it got knocked down in the trapper zone before it could come around the boards. Backhanded back toward the near side now. Rodzinski pinches to keep it alive for the Crunch. Flips it back down low. Sabourin kicks it free. Angles it up toward the point. Rodzinski shoots, and a save made by Dawes. Crunch trying to get some zone time again here in the second period. Shots are 19-12 now in favor of the Comets. Again, they have had the benefit of a lot of power play time in this game. It's 9-4 in the period favoring Utica. Most of that coming during the 5-on-3 and 5-on-4 power plays and resulting in the game-tying goal with about 2 seconds to go on the Utica man advantage. Mike Hardman getting the goal for the Comets. Offensive face-off for the Crunch, but Utica wins it defensively. Passed in behind the net. Puck trickled away from Seamus Casey. Duke just couldn't track it down. Utica gloves it ahead, and it's passed up to the right blue line. Addison tips it in. Grosjev angles it behind for Harper. Bangs it up the wall. It squirts out to center ice. Bounces over the stick of Chafee as well. Taken by Addison. Passes near wing. 2-2 tie. 8 minutes into our second period. It's a Schmelzer's pass toward Cruikshank, deflected away by Chris Harper. Crunch half control. Groshev's pass got blocked by Hallinan. Harper dishes up the far boards. Casey keeps in, then gave it away to Harper, who dumps it back to center ice. Off his stick, turned back up ice by the Comets. Here comes Cruikshank. Weaves his way to the offensive zone, makes a move. Cruikshank dishes toward the left off the stick of Hallinan. Seamus Casey's there to follow up. Gets tangled up by Chafee. Peltier supports along the wall. Slides it for Chafee, who gets it out for the Crunch. Turns back at the defensive blue line, then gets to the red line. Left wing pass to Peltier. Carries in and shoots. Save made by Dawes. Right to the catching glove, and he holds on. 11:21 to go in our second period. And the game tied 2-2. Face-off coming up in the offensive zone for the Crunch. Gabriel Sturz will take the face-off with Peltier and Abrazizi. Crunch goals belonging to Peltier and Stahoviak. Comets getting goals from Addison and Hardman. Utica wins the D-zone face-off again. Ethan Edwards rips it to center ice. Petronero shoulders with Jonathan Gruden. Gabriel Sturz takes the puck, finds Petronero near circle, dumps it off the near boards to center. Peltier swats it back in his own zone. It's taken away now. Gruden, left wing. Throws it down low off the kick plate for Kyle Criscolo. Shouldered by Tommy Miller. Gets tied up there. Sturz rolls the puck around toward Abrazizi. Tries to chop it loose. Gruden keeps in. Dumps it across to the left wing for Edwards. Edwards keeps it alive. Slips past the shoulder check of Sturz. Miller collides with Perrott. Comets keep it alive. Right point Strand. Left wing out wide. Here's Gruden. He shoots toward the net. Off the pad of Halverson. Strand follows up. Gave it away in the middle of the ice for Miller. Makes a good move and skates it out. Hands it off to Peltier. Tries to dump it ahead. Knocked away by a Comet. Peltier follows up. Steers it back toward the blue line for Petronero. Has time. Now pressure coming in his direction. Bangs it off the near wall and down. And it's going to turn into an icing against the Crunch. The Crunch had some time there, and then they iced the puck with 10:23 to go in the second period. We're tied 2-2. A D-zone faceoff coming up for the Crunch. They were in the midst of a change. So, relatively fresh bodies in Cooper Flinton and Wojtek Stahoviak and Romain Rodzinski. But Petronero and Abrazizi have been out here for a bit. They're out here on a D-zone situation now. Utica off the face-off. Looked like they were going to get control. Then Petronero lifted the stick of Hardman, grabbed it for the Crunch. Gets tied up now right wall. Nearly halfway through regulation, the Crunch get possession. Stahoviak clears to Abrazizi. His pass blocked, comes back to him, and he fires it in. Around the boards, knocked down by Dawes in the trapezoid. Flicks it up the far wall, off the shelf, comes to a Comet, cleared out by Hardman. Throws it in for Utica into the offensive zone. 2-2 tie halfway through the second period. Stahoviak in his own zone, pressured along the near wall. Helped out here by Cooper Flinton, dumps it back behind the Crunch net. Rodzinski throws it up the far wall, settled out by Sabrin. Throws it rink wide near side for Rodzinski, all the way to the red line, and he rips it in. Hard to the right board. Sabrin spins a pass in front. That got intercepted, and Utica busted out. Here comes LaChance with speed through center ice. Malofsky, his pass got disrupted by Rodzinski, who gets taken down to the near circle. Stahoviak defending. Puck comes to the point for Osipov. He throws it toward the middle of the ice. Malofsky with a shot goes off the stick of Schmidt. Back toward the front. Skittered across and taken and skated out by Furry. Spins back at the blue line. Helps it back to Schmidt in the D zone. 9:10 left in the second. We're tied at 2. A pass denied at center by Osipov. Counterattack. Here comes Cruikshank. He's got speed. Cruikshank backhands it wide right. Rebound comes up the far wall for Allard. Allard gets jostled. Puck is available. Played free by Malofsky. Passes to the front. Intercepted by Rodzinski. He throws it off the far glass and out. Gloved down by a Comet. Picked up by Allard. He scampers in. He's got Furry with him. Spins. Crunch in the midst of a change. He dumps it down low for Furry. He's got some space now. Furry against Addison. Up to the point, Harper. Left wing, Grosjev. He's got room. He shoots. Save made by Dawes with Seamus Casey and Dylan Duke jostling for positioning in front of the Utica netminder. Timeout here, 8:39 to go in the second, tied at 2 on ESPN Radio. Second period brought to you by Kitty Drugs. Before the holidays, protect yourself and your loved ones with flu, COVID-19, and senior vaccines available now at Kitty Drugs. Walk in today and talk to your Kitty pharmacist. Kitty Drugs employee owned, locally committed since 1903, and the official drugstore of the Crunch. Crunch of the Comets tied at 2 here in our second period. Left circle face-off, 8:39 to go in the middle stanza. Utica wins another draw. It's played up the far side, but a giveaway. Harper keeps in for the Crunch. Right wing, Mitchell Chafee spins along the right wall. Twisting and turning, passes toward the corner, off the stick of Boris Kachuk. Joined now by Jacob Peltier on this shift as the Comets lift it out. Knocked out of the air by Grosjev, legally touched. His pass at the center ice logo, though, was intercepted. Perrant in transition now, spins back up the left wall. He has it knocked off his blade at center by Harper. Good play by Chris Harper. And now the Comets have it back at center. Gruden. Cross ice to Ethan Edwards. Oh, look out. He lost the puck, but a great recovery by Edwards. He was looking up ice. The puck had gotten away from his stick blade, and it could have been a steal for Peltier, but just knocked away at the last moment. Puck in behind the Crunch net now. Gruden has lost his stick. It's in the scrum behind the net, so he's going back toward the bench. Perrant chicken wings the stick of Grosjev. Puck in the middle of the ice. Chance, a shot save made by Halverson. Rebound play to the corner. Up the left wall for Mike Hardman. Up to the left point, Topia's villain. Right wing for Dmitry Osipov. Cross ice pass, stays in the zone for Chris Colo. Chris Colo about to change. He hops out there. Legare hops off the bench as Chris Colo hops off. A shot tipped and a save. Good save by Halverson on a Hardman deflection. Crunch get the puck out of the zone. 7:20 to go in the second. Peltier goes for a change. Puck knocked away at center ice. Chafee then leaves it there for Dylan Duke. Rumbles in for the Crunch. Left wing Duke. Spins back left circle, has possession, swings it behind the net. Right wing for Nick Abrazizi, glancing around, flips it down low. Duke has the puck, up to the right point, off the stick of Tommy Miller at the right blue line. It was a skipping puck on his backhand, hard to handle. Now give it away at center ice for Legare, but a good recovery by Abrazizi. Transition for Duke, right back in. Drops it off Stahoviak, left wing chance, a shot, score! Tight snipe by Matteo Petronero, and the Crunch retake the lead with 6:50 to go in the second period. It's 3-2. A great transition up ice by the Crunch, and Matteo Petronero got in at the left circle and roofs it over the shoulder of Dawes. It's 3-2 Crunch. Well, Petronero is having a great offensive season and continues to step up in a big way. It's his third goal and 7th point of the year. Stahoviak found him out wide at the left dot. He just ripped it short side on Dawes. That's a shot that Dawes probably would like to make a save on. He kind of vacated that post. Now the Comets off the faceoff, getting into the offensive zone. So 3-2 Crunch. Right point Addison. Third one-goal lead of the game for the Crunch. And now a miscommunication in front of the Crunch net. A steal for the Comets. Off to the left point for Seamus Casey. Right wing for Addison. Throws it across, knocked away. Roman Schmidt, the defenseman, rumbling in on a breakaway. He's in, he shoots. Save made Dawes. Where's the puck? Dawes gobbles it up. There's a couple of sticks coming behind him to make sure it didn't trickle through. 6:18 left in the second period. Boy, that turned into a breakaway for Roman Schmidt. pulled the trigger from the top of the circles, really at the hash. Yeah, that puck actually got through Dawes. It was behind him. Seamus Casey did help get it back underneath his goaltender. Well, 3-2 crunch, 6:18 to go in the second period. They've had leads of 1-0, 2-1, and 3-2. Can they make this one stick? Comets win the D-zone faceoff. And it's backhanded ahead. Gloved out at center ice by Brian Hallinan. Rink-wide feed for Austin Strand. Gains the line, plays it off the stick, and pinballs around in front. Backhanded off the stick up high. Thought that hit the netting up behind the net, but it was off the top of the glass. Stays in play. The crunch skated out. A line through center with speed. It gets hit up high by Ethan Edwards. Puck passed in behind the net, picked off by Strand. Broken up by Stahoviak. Passed in behind, looking for Furry. Taken by Hallinan. Bumped by Allard. Hallinan's pass bounced off the skate of Strand. Tracks it down to the corner, swats it up the near wall. It squirts to center ice. Schmelzer feeds for Hallinan. Hallinan carries in, gets hip checked by Chris Harper. 3-2 crunch, 5.5 minutes to go in the second period. Hallinan tries to get a stick grab on Grosjev. The crunch clear the puck out to the neutral zone. Allard poking at it. In front of the crunch bench, Grosjev drills it in. Skips off the end wall. Dawes swings it to the far side. 5:15 to go in the second, 3-2 crunch. Mateo Petronero with the most recent goal of the game. Osipov sends it in. Poked in behind the crunch net for Tommy Miller. Miller slides it up the near wall. No one there for the crunch. It's a steal for Kyle Criscolo. Pass into the middle was intercepted. The good read by Petronero. He gets pressured by Perrott. Comes back behind for Miller. Miller pokes it up the near wall for Peltier. Now he does clear to Abrazizi with Sturtz 2-on-1. Sturtz gets over the line, spins back. Dishes to Miller. He's got space. Miller shoots, save made. Rebound poked in front, knocked away. Settles it behind the net now. Takedown by Edwards on Abrazizi. As play continues, actually, it looks like it was Criscolo. His puck is shot down the ice, and it's an icing. It was Kyle Criscolo behind the net, bigger Pardon, who just tackled Abrazizi. So 4:33 to go in our second, and the Crunch leading 3-2. Hey, Crunch fans, don't forget the Black Friday deal is live right now. You get 4 vouchers free when you purchase a 10 voucher pack. That's 14 vouchers for the price of 10, $240. Check it out right now. You can purchase it at SyracuseCrunch.com/Black Friday. Utica with another face-off win. They sound like a broken record on that one tonight as the Comets shuffle it down ice. Romain Rodzinski back on it in his second Crunch game up from East HL, South Carolina. Crunch gained the zone, then a pass along the blue line, pulled back to center ice. Dumped in deep by Roman Schmidt. The Comets get control. Addison, good breakout pass. Utica clears left to right. Up to center ice. They gain the line. Lageray right wing. Plays it toward the net. Blocked away by Rodzinski. In behind the net for Roman Schmidt. 4 minutes to go in the second. Crunch and the Comets in a tight one. Syracuse leading 3-2. Battle for possession. It comes free near the near post. And then a collision ends up in the net. And they're going to say this was forced off by Dylan Duke with his shoulder on Hardman. So the Crunch will not be allowed to change. And they will keep this face-off in the offensive zone for the Comets. Duke and Hardman shouldering. Officials talking about things here, the two referees. Same referees we had last night in Rochester for the Crunch. Right circle face-off. Lageray against Kachuk. And Kachuk wins one for the Crunch. Rodzinski skyhooks this to center ice. Chafee and Casey collide, and they're finally going to call a penalty on the Comets. An interference on Seamus Casey. Crunch are going to get a power play opportunity with 3:48 to go in the second period. Power play when we return on ESPN Radio. Crunch leading the Comets 3-2. Syracuse getting its first power play tonight. Comets have had 3, including a major power play and a 5-on-3 man advantage. They scored with 3 seconds to go on what was their 5-on-4 after the 5-on-3. First power play tonight for the Crunch. Utica wins a face-off. It's rimmed around and out. Settled out of the neutral zone by Nick Abrazizi. Crunch power play back in its own zone, featuring Abrazizi, Kachuk, Peltier, Chafee, and Duke. Far side, Boris Kachuk swings it back for Peltier. Up through center ice. Feeds right wing. The Crunch gain the line. Put down low by Chafee. Poked into the corner by Peltier. It squirts loose. Swings off the boards. Who's going to get control? 3-on-3 beneath the goal line. Jamming at the puck. Off the end wall. Still tied up in skates right now. It's moving around enough for the officials to keep things alive. It popped up in the air, settles back in that pie slice again, rolled up to the near wall, up to the line, not out of the zone. Abrazizi, right wing pass to Chafee. Swings it back to Nick Abrazizi at the point. Left wing Kachuk. He goes cross ice, right wing for Chafee, plays it off the wall, throws it down low, and then thrown back toward the near blue line and out. Kachuk had vacated that area, and so the Crunch have to regroup. Minutes to go on this power play. Keep in mind, this is probably not the personnel the Crunch were planning on at the start of the night. Connor Ginky's typically on this power play, and one of the point men, he's unavailable for the rest of the night. Thrown out of this game with an early game misconduct. Dish back to the line, though the Crunch set it up again. Right wing, here is Kachuk. Back to Abrazizi, 40 to go. Left wing, Chafee, down low, throws it in front, knocked away, they score! Peltier with his second straight multi-goal game. It's a power play goal at 2:25 to go in the second, and the Crunch lead 4-2. Now Peltier stays red hot. He's got 2 goals tonight. He had 2 goals last night, another multi-goal game tonight, and he's now the league leader in scoring, up to 24 points on the year. Now he has been on a tear for the Crunch. 4-2, 2:25 to go. Chafee threw it toward the net. It was paddled away by the goaltender, Nico Dawes, and then lifted home on the rebound by Peltier. So, 2 goals again for Jacob Peltier, and it's 4-2 Crunch. Puck is lifted out of the Crunch zone. Sturtz on it with Sabrin. Sturtz gains the zone, throws it cross ice, comes off the wall for Harper. Harper works down low. He throws it in front, knocked away by a stick in the low slot of the Comets, busted out. Through center ice, Malofsky, near side pass, disrupted. Nice play by Grosjean at the blue line. Squirts back to the red, and Utica has control with under 2 minutes to go in the second period. The Crunch leading 4-2. Power play goal by Jacob Peltier. Crunch 1-for-1 on the man advantage tonight. Utica gains the zone. Here comes Bordelot. He cuts, holds, and shoots. Blocked by Sabrin. Big time block by Sabrin. Thomas Bordelot sticks with it. Up the left wall now for Malofsky. Throws it down low. Taken by the Comets. Sturtz defending. Swung around to the right wall for Caitlin Addison. Toward the net. Sticked away by Halverson up the far wall. Casey keeps in. Left wing for Chris Colo. 1:20 to go in this second period. Harper jostling with the Comet. That was LaChance. LaChance rims it back around the near wall. Furry scampers across. Bumps with Addison. Comets keep it alive though. Chris Colo. Good shift for Utica here. 4-2 Crunch. Comets looking to get one back. Casey holds. He dangles and shoots. Blocked in front off his teammate Chris Colo. And Sabrin finally gets a steal for the Crunch. Gets it out of the zone. Dumps it ahead. Knocked out of the air by Casey. Was it a high stick? No. Comets can quickly turn back in. Here comes Jonathan Gruden. Cross ice feed. Chris Colo back in front. Locked away. Rebound along the goal line. Stahoviak grabs it for the Crunch. Twisting and turning. Then he gave it away behind the net for Gruden. Centering pass blocked. Perrott follows up. 40 seconds to go. Crunch trying to survive this period. A shot blocked in front. Taken. Crunch need to clear. They don't get it out again. Perrott down low. Perrott in behind. Throws it in front. They score. Oh, the Crunch just gave the puck away a couple of times too many. And with 32 seconds left in the period, it's 4-3. Oh, boy, that's a tough sequence for the Crunch. A huge goal for the Comets in the final minute of the second. And a couple of times tonight, the Crunch have not been able to break out of their own zone. That time, had some tired guys out there. They had the puck, though, behind the net. And it was Wojtek Stahoviak who just dished it right back to a Comet, and that led to the rest of the trouble for the Crunch. And Perrott with a wraparound, it skips off the skate of, I think, either Grosjean or Sturtz. They were both there, and it's just banked home. So 4-3 game with 30 seconds to go now in this second period. That's a huge goal for the Comets. Crunch had grabbed control again. and finally taking a 2-goal lead. Comets get it back into the offensive zone. Peltier pokes it to center ice. 20 seconds left in the second. Crunch leading 4-3. Utica has hit 3 goals in a game for the 3rd straight game. Only the 7th time they've done it all year. Villain dumps it in. 5 seconds to go in this second period. Utica's only scored more than 3 once. They have to score at least 5 to win it tonight as the period ends. Their season high is 4, and that came in at a 7-4 loss against Rochester last month. They've given up 4 tonight. They have 3 goals to show for it so far, though, through 40 minutes. And outside of a couple of brilliant saves by Brandon Halverson, who just throws his water bottle into the bench, he is not happy. He's played great for the Crunch, but he's given up 3 through 2. The Crunch, they'll have 4. They lead the game 4-3, and we'll see if the Crunch can tighten things up in this 3rd period and try to close out this victory here tonight. But it's going to be a battle in the 3rd. It's been hotly contested through 2, back and forth. The Crunch had briefly a little bit of breathing room, but the Comets with a big final shift of that period pull back within 1. All right, we'll see what happens in the 3rd. That comes our way in a bit. Time now for a second intermission report with Eddie McCarthy.
It always is a battle between these two teams, isn't it? No love lost between these two franchises. The Crunch lead it 4-3 after 2 periods, 40 minutes in the book. Shots on goal 13-10 in favor of Utica in that second period. The Comets with the 23-18 advantage in shots on goal through the first 2 periods. Shots on goal presented, as always, by Nave Law Firm. We'll step aside, and then we will really get underway with our second period intermission report. The Crunch 4, the Comets 3 after 2 periods here in Syracuse. You're listening to Syracuse Crunch Hockey on ESPN Radio. Here on our second period intermission report here on ESPN Radio, the Syracuse Crunch, a 4-3 lead after 2 on the Utica Comets. I'm Eddie McCarthy. Thanks for joining us here tonight on ESPN Radio. It has certainly been a good one, a back-and-forth one so far between these two division rivals. It's the 5th time they've met this year. The Crunch 4-0 so far this season against Utica, looking to go to 5-0. Well, after one, it was a 2-1 Crunch lead. We had a lot of offense in that second period. Crunch started early in the second on the penalty kill. They had to kill off a 5-on-3 for about 1 minute and 20 seconds, which they did, and then it looked like they'd be able to get through the entire penalty kill unscathed, but with 3 seconds left on the power play, Utica broke the ice first in the second period.
Now the right shot passes to his right for Cruikshank. Back to Addison again. Pumps it to Cruikshank. 10 to go on the 5-on-4. Cruikshank passes to the goal line. Hardman shoots, save, rebound. It's free. They scored. Somehow it squirts home. And the Comets, with 3 seconds to go on the power play, have tied the game at 2. 13:29 to go in the second period.
Fourth goal of the season for Mike Hardman. And like Lucas said, just 3 seconds left on the power play, and it had been a very good kill for Syracuse. They had that 5-minute major they had to kill off in the first period, which they killed successfully. Comets still just 1 for 3 on the power play. Crunch have taken 24 minutes in penalties tonight. But the good news for the Crunch is that less than 6 minutes later, Matteo Petronero, offense from an unlikely source, got the Crunch back in front.
Now give it away at center ice for Legaray, but a good recovery by Abrazizi. Transition for Duke, right back in. Drops it off Stahoviak. Left wing chance, a shot, score! An in-tight snipe by Matteo Petronero, and the Crunch retake the lead with 6:50 to go in the second period.
Yep, grip it and rip it from the left circle. Matteo Petronero nearly knocked the water bottle off of the net. That gave Syracuse a 3-2 lead. And then, just a little over 4 minutes later, Jacob Peltier, who else? He's been sizzling hot recently. He added another to make it a 2-goal lead.
Set it up again, right wing, here is Kajuk. Back to Abrazizi, 40 to go. Left wing, Chafee, down low, throws it in front, knocked away, they score! Peltier with his second straight multi-goal game. It's a power play goal at 2:25 to go in the second, and the Crunch lead 4-2.
24 points now for Jacob Peltier. That is good enough for the league lead in the AHL right now, and good to see Syracuse score on the power play as well. They went 0 for 3 last night, and it looked like the Crunch would head into the locker room with a 2-goal lead, but with just 32 seconds left to play in the second period, Xavier Perrant had other ideas.
Grabs it for the Crunch. Twisting and turning, then he gave it away behind the net for Gruden. Centering pass blocked. Perrant follows up. 40 seconds to go. Crunch trying to survive this period. A shot blocked in front. Taken. Crunch it clear. They don't get it out again. Perrant down low. Perrant in behind. Throws it in front. They score. Oh, the Crunch just gave the puck away a couple of times too many. And with 32 seconds left in the period, it's 4-3.
As Lucas alluded to, the Crunch have not played the cleanest in their defensive zone tonight, which is part of the reason why their goaltender Brandon Halverson was so frustrated coming off the ice towards the end of that second period. He's made some terrific saves tonight, but because of some lapses in defensive zone coverage, the Crunch have just a 1-goal lead, 4-3 on the Utica Comets after 20 minutes. After 40 minutes with 20 minutes to go. All right, we will step away and come back after our next break. 4-3, the Crunch lead the Comets after 2. You're listening to Syracuse Crunch Hockey on ESPN Radio.
So you'll
Thanks, Max. And it's absolutely what Matteo Petronero said. It's those small details that Syracuse is going to have to really key in on in the third period. That goal that Xavier Perrant scored for Utica to cut this to a 4-3 Syracuse lead at the end of that second period was one of those examples of the defensive zone coverage lapses that Petronero talked about. Part of the reason that Brandon Halverson was so frustrated coming off the ice is he's really made some excellent saves over the course of this hockey game, but there have been a couple of breakdowns here and there that have allowed Utica, a team that has really struggled to score goals this year. The Comets came in averaging just over 1.8 goals per game. They had only scored 29 coming into the hockey game, which was the worst mark in the AHL. But as Lucas referenced towards the end of that second period, the Comets, for the first time this season, have now scored 3 goals or more in 3 straight games. So maybe it's partly their offense is starting to come out of the doldrums a bit, and I'm sure for Joel Bouchard and the rest of the Syracuse team, they're looking to clean up some things defensively on their side of things. And it'll be interesting to see how the Crunch do in terms of their stamina and their physical conditioning over the course of this third period. Second leg of a back-to-back, and ever since relatively early in the first period, they've been playing with just 11 forwards because Connor Geekie received a match penalty for elbowing about 7 minutes in the first. So the Crunch have had to go 11-6 ever since Geekie was ejected. Take a look elsewhere around the AHL tonight. Rochester is off. At the very top of the show during Countdown to Crunch Time, we said that the Crunch are in a 3-way tie with Laval and Rochester. All 3 of those teams have 24 points. Rochester not playing. Laval is beating Lehigh Valley 3-1 after 2 periods of play. The team that is right behind that group of 3 is Belleville. They're sitting with 22 points. Belleville's trailing Providence 4-1 after 2 periods. And the other North Division team in action tonight, Toronto beat Charlotte 5-3 on the road. It's a good win for the Marlies. The Crunch struggled earlier this year when they went down to Charlotte, lost both games. Well, Syracuse, after they feel like they let a game get away from them last night where they were winning in the last 4 minutes but could not hold on against Rochester, now they're in a similar situation. 1-goal lead, third period, this time in front of their home crowd, and the Crunch will try and hold on and defeat Utica for the 5th time this season. Crunch 4, Comets 3. After 2 periods of play, we'll step away. Next time you hear from us, you won't be hearing from me. You will hear from Lucas Favali, voice of the Crunch, for third period action. Syracuse 4, Utica 3 after 2. You've been listening to the second period intermission report on ESPN Radio.
Third period set to begin. It's brought to you by Woodford Brothers. Do you have settling floors, wall cracks, or pulling basement walls? These problems don't get better with time. A small foundation issue can turn into a big nightmare that can affect your home's safety and decreases resale value. Woodford's patented solutions are designed to handle all types of foundation failures. Let them repair your foundation and put your home back on solid ground. Call Woodford Brothers today and preserve and protect your home's value. Lucas Pavani with you. Third period, crunch from left to right. Comets are right to left. The Crunch leading 4-3 entering this third. Looking to nail down their second victory of the week against the Comets and close out November with a .500 record. What has been a turbulent month with roster moves. Puck is shot in deep by the Comets. Third period is underway. A quick turnover. Turnaround shot. Tip just wide. Rebound taken by Utica up to the left point. Edward walks and shoots. Blocked by Abruzzese. Jammed by Peltier. Dribbles back to the point. Kept alive by Edwards. Swatted to the line by Harper. And bobbled out of the zone by Strand. Here is Peltier and a penalty upcoming on the Comets. Interference against Utica. And an early power play coming for the Crunch. Strand bobbled it, then compounded the error by interfering with Peltier. And the Crunch get their second power play of the game. They're 1 for 1. And it comes 27 seconds into the third. A huge opportunity to retake a 2-goal lead. Crunch power play provided the 2-goal advantage in that second period on Jacob Peltier's second goal of the night. The Comets did get one in the final minute of the second period, though, to pull back within one. Wojtek Stachowiak begins his face-off, or the power play of the face-off. The Comets win it again. And Kalen Addison tries to clear, didn't get the ton on it. Sturz keeps in, gets it toward the front. It is now cleared back to the line and out by the Comets. Alverson comes across to play it near the goal line, flips it in behind the net, leaves it there for Grosjean. Opening minute of the third period, the Crunch leading 4-3. They're on the power play from left to right. Sturz through center, pumps it in, hard around the glass to the left wing line. It's at the left half now and dumped right back down the ice. Wide of the goal off the stick of Halverson. He now has to retreat as Grosjean goes and finds the puck. 1:20 to go on his man advantage for the Crunch. Grosjean forced back. He spins around far circle by Gruden. Lead pass up to Stachowiak. His cross-ice pass denied at center by Gruden. Crunch regroup at center ice. They begin a change now to get their top power play unit out there. Dylan Duke calling for the puck and receives it from Sturz. Crunch have it in behind the net halfway through this man advantage. 90 seconds into the third. They lead the game 4-3. Nick Abruzzese carries ahead. Drops it off to Peltier. 2 goals already in the game. He gains the line, passes left wall. Out of the reach of Duke, and Osipov dumps it down ice. There's not enough speed for the Crunch through the neutral zone on that entry. And a quick, easy clear for the Comets, who are making this penalty kill look very efficient so far. 40 to go on the man advantage. Kachuk rumbles ahead. He gains the line. Right wing pass to Chafee. Crunch can finally try to set up their man advantage with 30 seconds to go, but a steal by Schmelzer, and he gets it out of the zone. Paladin takes possession for the Comets up toward Schmelzer, poked away by Peltier. Kachuk slides it back in the D zone with only 20 seconds to go on this power play. So Joe Bouchard throws out a defenseman now late in this man advantage. It was the 5-forward unit out there as Chafee carries in. Another steal by Brian Hallinan and a clear. A terrific penalty kill for the Comets. The Crunch barely had the puck in the offensive zone. Well, they couldn't win a face-off, and then once they got it down ice, the Comets prevented the Crunch from really entering the zone cleanly. Power play is over. It remains 4-3 Crunch. Dumped into the offensive zone. Nico Dawes, the goaltender, plays it up the near wall. Shouldered down by Cooper Flinton along the near boards. It gets double-teamed. Digging for it. It's kicked behind the net by Ethan Edwards to Seamus Casey. Passed up the middle, Legare. Near side feed. Comets gain the line. Passed in front, a chance for Hardman, stashed wide left. Into the far corner for Furry. Flips it down low, Petronero out of his reach though. Played toward the net, banged wide. Comets have control in the corner. Left wing Hardman shot, and a save made by Halverson in the right position. And fired right into him by the Comets. 3 minutes into the third, so the Crunch unable to stretch their advantage. It remains 4-3. Crunch fans, visit SyracuseCrunch.com/Black Friday right now to purchase your Black Friday voucher pack. Best sale of the year for the Crunch. 14 vouchers for the price of 10. It's $240. Check it out and buy right now at SyracuseCrunch.com/Black Friday. The deal and the offer good now through Monday. Comets with another face-off. It's swatted by Bordelot, but taken by Jacob Peltier. Leads Nick Abruzzese, but it's intercepted at center by Dmitry Osipov. Near the Utica bench, Comets get control, then gave it away at the red line. Backhanded and deep by Abruzzese. Nico Dawes again behind the net. Slides it near side, Topias Villain. Up for Malofsky, now for LeChance at center. Scoops it up in the air, bounces at the right wing circle. Jammed behind the net by Bordelot. Schmidt defending, fends off LeChance. The Crunch get it up ahead, but not out of the zone. Bordelot knocks it down. Another unsuccessful clear. Osipov shoots, blocked in front and caught by Halverson. I thought it got into that traffic in front of Schmidt and LeChance. Two big bodies in front of Halverson, but Halverson ends up making the save. 3:40 into the third. Probably not the start of the period that Joel Bouchard was envisioning for his group. They had the benefit of a power play. Didn't do much with it. Now the Comets are going to work again in the offensive zone. Utica up to 25 shots on goal. They've got 3 goals tonight, one shy of their season high. They've only scored 4 goals once. It was in a loss. Puck to center ice, Chafee. Comets are looking for a penalty. It does not come. Addison swings it out. 3-on-2 through center for the Comets. Seamus Casey carries in. Onside right wing. Drops it off Perron. His play to the net blocked. Grosjean denies it and clears it up ahead for Dylan Duke. Left wing, numbers for the Crunch. Duke has it swatted away by Addison. Good defensive play. Punched around the near side by Duke. It comes out of the zone. Grosjean had just vacated that area. Kachuk tried to keep him but could not. Lead pass though to Dylan Duke. Comets changing. Duke carries in. Flips it back. Chafee with a shot. He scores! Mitchell Chafee makes it 5-3 Crunch. 4:15 into the third. The Comets were changing. The Crunch catch him on it. Dylan Duke was slamming his stick on the ice. He got the attention of the Crunch back on the blue line, and it turned into a 2-on-1. Duke flipped it back to Chafee, and Chafee's got a terrific shot, and he zips it past Dawes for a 5-3 lead. Big time goal for the Crunch, who once again stretched the lead. 5th of the year for Chafee, and it's 5-3. He just ripped it from the right circle past the right arm of Dawes. 5-3 Crunch. They tip it back into the offensive zone. Flinted it after it. Can they hold on to this lead for a while now? Every time the Crunch have scored, the Comets seem to answer. 5-3 is the advantage. 4.5 minutes into the third period. Puck played back behind the Utica net. Edwards up the middle for Schmelzer. Near side Bruton. His pass behind Hallinan. Near the blue line, chip back out. Flinton dumps it in. Utica changing, so are the Crunch. Comets have control in their own zone. Nearly 5 minutes into the third. Crunch up 5-3. Puck to center, turned ahead. Sabrin trying to find it, but it got away from his stick. He's going for a change now as Ethan Edwards plays it into the offensive zone. Rodzinski backhand pass to Schmidt. He gets bumped by Edwards and gets tied up as well. Puck rolling into the near corner. Rodzinski's there. Throws it back up the wall, finds Furry wide open. Furry races to center ice. Pumps it off the right wall into the offensive zone. 5:15 into the third. One-handed behind the net by Furry. Finds Allard. Sturtz got taken down in the low slot. Puck in the left wing corner. Furry cuts across. Drops it back down low. No one there yet for the Crunch. Taken by Villain under pressure from Sturtz. Near side pass. It's disruptive, but comes out of the zone. Schmidt has possession for the Crunch. Chips it ahead. Taken by Villain. Slides it back down the left wall for Langeray into the offensive end for the Comets. Taken back by the Crunch. Off the line spurs and a bad break for the Crunch. Langeray takes possession for the Comets. Slides it back in the corner. In behind for LeChance. Crunch ahead 5-3. The Comets have the puck in the offensive zone. Here's a steal though for Furry, and he clears it out. Hits the red line, dumps it safely into the offensive zone. The Crunch can make another change. Now 6 minutes in to our third period. 5-3 Crunch after the goal by Chafee a couple of minutes ago. Malofsky enters his zone. Nice drop pass. Bordelot. He pulls it down low. Knocked away by Abruzzese. Back up high to Seamus Casey at the line. Right wing feed Addison. He shoots wide right. Puck off the glass behind the net. Peltier chips it ahead. It is out of the zone. Malofsky will direct it back along the blue line for Kalen Addison. Right back to Malofsky. He juggles it but settles it down. Finds Seamus Casey sprinting back up ice. He enters the offensive end, left wing blue line. A pass. Ricochets to Bordelot. Plays it down low, deflected up in the air. Settled down by Peltier along the left goal line. Comets swarming. Fed to the middle. Grabbed by Grosjean. And he races ahead for the Crunch. Gets it to center. Down to the red line. Scoops it in. Crunch changing again with 13:15 to play in the third period. And they have a 5-3 lead. Perron to center ice. He lost the puck. Duke swings it back to Kachuk. Kachuk will backhand it in for the Crunch. And Duke will go in after it as Kalen Addison is there for the Comets. 7 minutes into our third, the Crunch with a 5-3 lead. Perrott scoots down the right wing, up for Chris Colo, chips it ahead. Taken by Tommy Miller for the Crunch, near side for Chafee. Settles it down to the blue line, nice rink wide feed for Petronero. He glides his way in and shoots, save made by Dawes, he holds on. 12:47 to go in the third period, a big goal for the Crunch by Mitchell Chafee. They lead by 2, it's 5-3 on ESPN Radio. Crunch leading with 12:47 left in the third. Lucas Favali with you on this Saturday night. Hockey Fights Cancer Night tonight for the Crunch. Wearing their lavender jerseys, white jerseys with the lavender accents and the lavender shoulder bars. The regular blue pants for the Crunch. Syracuse wins an offensive zone faceoff. Left point Petronero. Long shot is caught by Dawes as he was getting taken down to the crease. He was lunging around to make the save. Duke was right near the top of the crease. And Dawes had to make the save before his skates got taken out from underneath him. 12:42 left in this third. Crunch with a 5-3 lead. Chafee in on the faceoff again at the left dot. Now he gets waved out. Tkachuk was going to take the last faceoff. He got waved out. Chafee then won it, so they stuck with Chafee. Then he gets tossed, and Tkachuk comes back in. And this one is won by Chris Colo. Puck in behind the Utica net. Played up the near glass, up to the line and out. Gruden taps it down the near wing, all the way down the ice. And icing waved off. Puck in the near corner. Shot up the near glass. And tapped out of the zone by the Crunch. Near the red line, Chafee gets held up by Edwards. Jammed in deep by Strand. Halverson settles it down. Passes far corner for Petronero. Up to the blue line for Duke. His pass. He finds Chafee at center. Twisting and turning. Gets to the red line and flips it in for the Crunch. They go for a change. Nearly 8 minutes into our third period. Wojtek Stachowiak in pursuit of the offensive zone. Nearly had a steal. Was knocked away by Villain. Now Ossipa breakout pass comes to Jonathan Gruden. Swings back in between the circles and breaks it up to Angus Cruikshank. Puck deflected up in the area near the penalty boxes. Scooped up into the offensive zone. Bounced off the shelf. Stachowiak didn't know where it was. He was looking around. You could hear some of his teammates directing traffic, but he couldn't quite find the puck. Comets sent it down ice into Syracuse territory. Puck is played by the Crunch and tipped out. Here comes Peltier through center. Second consecutive multi-goal game for Jacob Peltier. He leads the league in scoring now. The puck in front of the benches. Sturtz is there. Peltier reaching for it. Sturtz tries to jam it in and does. Crunch leading 5-3 with 11:25 left in the third period. Cruikshank plays it into the offensive zone and gets hit by Sabrin. Sabrin tumbles. Puck banged off the far glass by Halverson. Kept by Addison. Left point Casey. He pulls. Left circle. Dangles down low. Lost the handle for a moment. Harper then takes him down. Puck along the near wall. It is jammed to the line and out. Off the body of the line's person at center. Hallinan goes back across to Addison. Left wing for Schmelzer. He works down against Sabrin. His pass got blocked though by Harper. Puck in the near wall again, taken by the Crunch. Up towards Sabrin. Tries to get it out. Sturtz helps out. Didn't get it out of the zone, though. A failed clear for the Crunch, and we've seen this a couple of times tonight where they start to fail to clear the puck to get into some trouble. Now it comes to center ice. 10:40 to go in the third. Crunch looking for a change. They get at least a partial swap. Utica gets it back to the line. Nice play by Harper to disrupt the dump in, though. Now the Crunch finally get it the length of the ice. 9.5 minutes gone in the third. Dylan Duke knocks down a pass from Dawes. Nearly steals it. Now Does behind the net. Passes right wing for Roman Schmidt. He spins back at the right half wall. Schmidt goes high in the zone. At the blue line, passes down toward the corner. Kachuk couldn't handle it, but dives to make a poke pass to Duke. Left wall for Grosjev. Down low, knocked away by Dawes, I think off the side of the net. To the near wall, and does it get out? No, not yet. Corralled though by Ethan Edwards in the D zone. A second effort, he gets it out, and he finds Legare in on a maybe 2-on-1. A shot goes wide left. Trying to go to the short side and missed it. This puck rolls over the stick of Duke at center ice. Comets have it back. Villain flips it in, gloved down by Schmidt. Swats it to the line. Villain keeps. His play to the goal was blocked by Chafee in the midsection. He bobbles the puck as Bordeleau collides with him. Who's going to get possession here? It's LaChance. 9:40 to go in this third period. Chafee looks to be a little hobbled, maybe on that block. He's along the near wall, gets the puck, turns and scoops it out. It's knocked out of the air by Milovsky. That would be a high stick. And it's going to be whistled down with 9:30 to go in this third period. Got another timeout. Crunch 5 of the Comets 3. 9:30 to go in the third on ESPN Radio.
All right, fans, it's now time to announce tonight's Tony's Gold Puck winners. If you're sitting in section 213, row B, seat 13, you're getting a Jacob Peltier signed puck. Section 108, BBC 3, a Wojtek Stachowiak puck. Section 107, GG, seat 12, you're getting a Mateo Petronero signed puck. And section 104, row DDC 3, you're getting a Jacob Peltier signed puck. Head to the Crunch Service Center to claim your pucks. And now fans, direct your attention to the scoreboard. It's time for the raffle announcement to see if you are a winner. First, the number 4 Romain Rotten, game worn jersey 361-727. At times 50-50, 075324 and 0.
Third period brought to you by Woodford Brothers. Do you have a wet basement, cracked foundation, or cold crawl space? Don't wait until the snow gets here or melts, depending where you are. To fix it, professional waterproofing is crucial to preventing water from infiltrating your home. Right now is the best time of the year to solve your problems. Call Woodford Brothers today and preserve and protect your home's value. Crunch leading by 2. The Comets get the puck into the offensive zone. Petronero in behind the Crunch net. Pokes it up the near wall, and Stachowiak gets it to the line and out. Skates to the red line, backhands it in deep for the Crunch. Furry it after it against Kalen Addison. Addison gets control for the Comets. Goes to the far side circle and makes a lead pass to Perron. Tipped it near the red line, but it looked like he was shy of the line. Icing is whistled with 9:04 to go in the third. It was deflected, but Perron was on the opposite side of the red line, so that's why the icing was called. Crunch with a 5-3 lead. They have the only goal of this third period. Mitchell Chafee at 4:15 from Dylan Duke and Max Grosjev. Other goal scorers tonight for the Crunch: Jacob Peltier with 2, Wojtek Stachowiak and Mateo Petronero. Face off in the left wing circle of the offensive zone for the Crunch with 9:04 to go in the third. 5-3 Syracuse. Comets win the face-off. Puck in behind the net. Toe picking was Seamus Casey. That allows the Crunch to go to work in the right wing corner. Peltier and Sturtz in there for the Crunch. 3-on-2 though, numbers favor the Comets, and Addison does prevail with the puck. Peltier and Casey still kind of jousting with each other as the puck is played back toward the Crunch crease, and now it's covered up by Brandon Halverson. It was a little backhand pass by the Crunch right to the blue paint. 8:42 remaining in this third. It's 5-3 Crunch. A D-zone face-off for Syracuse. To the left of Brandon Halverson. Sturtz on this face-off for the Crunch. And not any longer as he gets the heave-ho from the linesperson Jason Brown. So Jacob Peltier will step into that position at the far dot. And it's won by the Comets. Swung right point. Austin Strand, a shot blocked by Sturtz. It comes back to Strand again. Left wing for Edwards at the line. Edwards with a long shot. Tipped wide left by Cruikshank. Followed up by the Crunch. Clear to the line, but not out. Strand kept it in with his left skate. Available puck. Grabbed by Cruikshank. High in the zone. Passes down low. It rolls through the top of the crease off the stick of Ryan Schmelzer. Crunch battling forward with 8:20 to go in this third period. They lead 5-3. Puck along the near wall. Edwards got loose for a moment. Now Nice play up the near wall by Nick Abruzzese. Finds Peltier, just dumps it in, and the Crunch will make a change. Sturtz continues in on the forecheck for now. It pops free for Edwards with 8 minutes to play in the third. The Crunch up by 2. This puck is past Schmelzer. Cross ice, right wing for Hardman. Hardman into the middle for Schmelzer. His shot goes wide. Puck around the near wall. Taken by Topias Villain. He gets grabbed by, I think it was Duke, and now whistled for hand pass with 7:49 to go in the third. Offensive zone hand pass by the Comets. Faceoff will come out to center. Crunch leading 5-3. Hey fans, join us for one of the, well actually the final home game of 2025, Trivia Night, as our fans at Syracuse Trivia Company host Trivia Night before our game here in the building on December 13th. Participate in a general knowledge trivia competition for a chance to win $1,000. Take advantage of the earlier price and sign up by tomorrow. Visit SyracuseCrunch.com/trivia to sign up. Crunch win the faceoff along their own blue line. Far side for Rodzinski. His pass comes off the stick of Duke and comes back in over the Crunch line. Roman Schmidt now going to the far corner. Pokes it up the wall. It comes off a body again. Rodzinski swats it free. Duke chips it up in the air. Gloved down by Edwards. Poked away by Chafee. Hard hit by Chafee on Edwards. The puck is chipped out of the zone by the Crunch. Laguerre back on it at center. It's poked loose by Boris Kachuk. He gains the line for the Crunch. Glancing around, works down low. He gets shouldered by Strand off the puck. Utica looking to break it out. Duke knocks it free. Skipping to the left circle. Utica takes possession again with 7:15 to play. Here in the third period, puck down ice. Icing waved off as Laguerre wins the race against Roman Schmidt. Schmidt tries to hold him up in behind the net. Rodzinski supports for the Crunch. Scales it off the glass and gets it out. Gloved down to the red line by Seamus Casey. Here's a pass picked off by Chafee at center. Comes off the near glass and he jams it in over the line. Casey has it back for the Comets. Under 7 to go in the third. Crunch 5, Comets 3. Tommy Miller looking to track down a skittering puck in the neutral zone. Now Stahoviak there as well, but it comes back in over the Crunch line. Tracked down by Petronero behind the net. He gets taken down by Thomas Bordelot. Cooper Flinton now for the Crunch. Tries to work free. Puck comes up the wall. Bordelot steals. Right point. Now quickly to the left. Casey shoots a pious save made by Halverson. Rising near his right shoulder. He squeezes it with 6:32 to go in the third. Good look for Seamus Casey. An offensively gifted defenseman. And a good look from the left circle. And a strong save made by Brandon Halverson. He has faced 26 shots in his direction tonight. He's been very good for the Crunch. Trying to nail down a win for the Crunch with 6.5 minutes to go. The Comets win another faceoff in the offensive zone. Left wing Angus Cruikshank along the near wall. It comes back to the left point. Villain walks, holds, passes right wing. Osipov, a shot caught by Halverson. No trouble on that one. He holds on for another faceoff with 6:21 left in the third. And it's still a 2-goal Crunch lead. Faceoff will be at the far circle. Crunch completed change. Stahoviak out for this faceoff now with Peltier and Abruzzese. .50-50, and the Crunch get control. Peltier leads the rush out of the zone. Joined by Stahoviak. He finds him over the left wing line. Stahoviak down the wall. Swings it down low behind the net. Edwards trying to rim it. Knocked away by Abruzzese behind the net. Battling for it with 6 minutes to play this third period. The Crunch up by 2. Pumped off the backboards by Schmelzer. Kept alive by Grosjean. Chips it in behind the net around to the near corner. Edwards waiting for it. Abruzzese collides with him. Trying to get a steal for the Crunch. Now pressure from Stahoviak. It comes loose in toward the high slot. Grabbed by Cruikshank. Now Edwards up toward Hallinan. He gains the blue line left wing. Hallinan from behind by Furry. Slides the puck down low. Grosjean there to break it up. Throws it into the corner, but it went off the body of Hallinan. Grabbed again by Grosjean. He feeds it left wing. Sturtz pumps it off the glass and out. 5.5 minutes to go in the third. Crunch up 5-3. Addison whiffs out an initial pass when it comes to the blue line, and the Comets get it to center ice. Rodzinski comes across the blue line to the near side for Roman Schmidt. Schmidt retreating, and now throws it off the leg of the referee, and now trouble for the Crunch. Taken by the Comets. Well, that's a tough play for the Crunch. Back to the line. Here's Addison. He walks and shoots off a leg, blocked. Now taken by Allard to the near corner. Allard kicks it free. Sturtz battling for it. Comes to the left point. Casey again keeps. Long wrister caught by Halverson. He holds on with 4:59 to go in the third. Well, it's a bad break for the Crunch right off the leg of the referee, but they kind of put themselves in that position, retreating into the defensive zone. Crunch leading 5-3, 5 minutes left on ESPN Radio. Crunch with a 5-3 lead with 5 minutes to go in the third period. It's been a feisty one tonight. Had an early fight between Dylan Duke and Xavier Perrott. An early major power play for the Comets as Connor Geeky got dinged with an elbowing and a major penalty game misconduct situation for him. So the Crunch have been short one of their top offensive forwards basically since the get-go. That came 7 minutes and 47 seconds into the game. The Crunch killed off that 5-minute major penalty. And they have had 3 one-goal leads. And now they have a 5-3 lead at the moment. Comets win the offensive zone face-off. A shot goes off the outside of the net from Kalen Addison. He's got 1 of the 3 goals tonight for the Comets. Puck in behind, taken by Chris Harper. Back in behind the net for Max Groshev. Groshev surveys and goes elevated out of the zone, out of the reach of Seamus Casey. Picked up by Addison. Backhands it back to center for Hartman. Retrieved by the Crunch, thrown off the glass. Taken by Casey, maneuvers to the line and dumps it in. Alverson knocks it down with 4.5 minutes to play in the third. We'll keep an eye on Nico Dawes of the Comets down by 2 goals here in the third period. Puck lifted out to center ice, over the red line again. Taken by Addison back in his own territory. He drifts to the near circle. Chafee now peels off from the pressure, goes to make a change. Comets come up ice, right to left Perrott. He flips it in on the backhand, caught by Halverson, and he'll hold on for a face-off. With 4:12 left, Harper and Perrott collided, and Legare came over on Harper. With 4:12 remaining in the third period, it is a 5-3 lead for the Crunch. Another D-zone face-off. The Comets will take face-offs because they've been winning the majority of them tonight. That was a play just to basically earn an offensive face-off by Perrott. And off this draw, Utica wins it. Right point, Strand. He shoots. Save made by Halverson. There's a rebound and tight. Recovered by the Crunch and cleared. Out to center ice and down into Utica territory. Dawson Strand. Lead pass to Shane LaChance, who was open in front of the net looking for a tip on that shot from the point. This one sent back into the offensive zone by the Comets. Under 4 minutes to play, the Crunch have a 2-goal lead. Puck in behind the Crunch net. Legare twisting and turning against Tommy Miller. Legare drags it off the end wall. Helped out by Sturtz is Miller. Now Petronero gets in there as well. 3:35 to go in the third period. It's 5-3 Crunch. This is not bad for the Crunch. Now comes loose out in front. It's available. Here's a chance in the slot left wing now for Strand. He dangles down low, loses the puck, gets it back, throws it toward the front again. Knocked away to the left point. Halverson doesn't have his goal stick. Comets keep in. 3:20 to go. 5-3 Crunch. Strand looks, passes to the middle, a shot. Glove save made by Halverson. Oh, big time stop by Halverson in front of the net with traffic top of the crease by Gruden. 3:14 left in the third. That's a big save by Halverson, who did not have his goal stick. So he made the save, and his catching glove held on to get a whistle, stoppage of play, get his team a change, and allow himself to get his goal stick and catch a breather. So 5-3 Crunch. Another D-zone face-off for Syracuse. It would behoove them to win a draw or two to get it clear. Obviously, that's what they're trying to do, but they have not had much success of doing that throughout the course of this night. They still lead the game 5-3. Stahoviak on this face-off at the left circle, and a clean win by Schmelzer. Left point, Casey works down the left wall. There goes Nico Dawes to the bench. Utica's net now empty. Puck comes into the left wing corner. It's a 6-on-5. Crunch have possession briefly. There's a broken stick in this sequence as well. It's taken by the Comets. It is a broken stick, I think, for the Crunch. Hallinan wrestling with Grosjev, I think. Puck comes in front. What a save! Point blank by Halverson. Grosjev does not have a stick, and now he's taking a penalty. He was trying to grab Schmelzer. Puck down low along the left goal line. Hardman swings it back to Hallinan. Pass across. Here's a shot blocked by Furry. Kept alive again. Left wing. One-time attempt. Whipped wide. And finally tagged up. 2:35 to go in the third. And a power play coming for the Comets. Grosjev with a hold. He had his stick broken, so he was hard at work trying to keep things going for the Crunch. But with 2:35 left in the third, a holding penalty against Grosjev, his second penalty tonight. And the Crunch, they're not out of the woods yet. It's a power play for the Comets. 2:35 to go in this third period. Dawes goes back onto the ice for now. I was wondering if they keep the goalie pulled down by 2 with a power play to make it a 6-on-4 advantage, and they still might do that. See what happens here. For the moment, though, this is a regular 5-on-4 power play. A left circle face-off. 2:35 to play the third. The Crunch holding out to a 5-3 lead. Angus Cruikshank on the face-off. Mitchell Chafee will take the draw for the Crunch. Very important face-off here. And Chafee wins it. Harper drills it around the far side and out of the zone and down. Big face-off win by Chafee and a successful clear by Chris Harper. 2:25 left in regulation, 5-3 Crunch. Dawes glancing at the Utica bench. A drop pass to Perrott at center ice. He skates ahead, gains the line, lifts it into the left wing boards. It comes toward the left corner. Utica gets control. Dawes creeping out. There he goes to the bench. Power play for the Comets. Now it's a 6-on-4. Hallinan down to the left circle. Back to the line for Casey. 2:05 left. It's 5-3 Crunch. 6-on-4 for the Comets. Casey holds it at the center point. Feeds right circle for Perrott. There's a man in front of Hardman. Back to the line. Addison shoots, tipped, save, rebound, loose. It's into the corner now. Playing back to the right point. Addison whips it across to Casey. Feeds left wing. A shot knocked away. A sprawling block by Schmidt. Left point Casey. His shot tipped, save made by Halverson on a redirect by Cruikshank. With 1:43 to go in the third period. 1:08 to go on the power play for the Comets. There remains a 6-on-4. Dawes has one pad over the bench boards. We'll see if he stays at the bench with 1:43 to go in the third. I imagine he will, and the Comets are going to call a timeout. The Crunch doing their best to hang on to this one tonight.
Utica.
Comets call a timeout. Utica has outshot the Crunch 35-21. This has been one of the more lopsided games we've seen the Crunch in terms of a shot clock all year. The Crunch have, for the most part, dictated the shots advantage. And Utica with 35 and including a 12-3 advantage in his third period alone. Now keep in mind, the Comets had the night off last night. The Crunch played a really tough, high-energy game yesterday in Rochester. They have competed as hard as they can, and they have a 5-3 lead. 1:43 though still left in the game. Dawes remains at the Utica bench. Timeout has ended. Schmelzer with Cruikshank, Hallinan, Hardman, Perrott, and Casey. Crunch will send out Mitchell Chafee for another faceoff. He's probably been their best guy tonight. Left circle faceoff. 50-50. It squirts free. Stahoviak takes it, dumps it down the ice wide. No icing because it's a penalty kill for the Crunch. Just missed the empty net by about a foot. Casey retrieves it. 90 seconds to play the third. Seamus Casey sends it back to the D-zone blue line for Cruikshank. Flips it off the far wall and in deep. 50 seconds to go on the penalty to Grosjev. Puck to the middle is jammed down the ice by Stahoviak. Wide again. Well wide that time into the corner, but the Crunch will take the clear. 1:15 left in the third. Net empty for the Comets. 35 seconds to go on their power play. It's a 6-on-4 advantage. Puck comes in over the Crunch line. Schmidt knocks it away. It dribbles toward the corner now. Back up the wall. Cruikshank spirals into the line for Casey. Left wing pass with a minute to go in the third. 5-3 Crunch. 20 seconds left of his power play. Casey passes right wing Perrott. top of the right circle. Passes to the goal line. A stop attempt save. Rebound kept down. Comets keep control. Casey at the line. Left wing for Hallinan at the circle. Feeds to the middle. A shot toward the net. Punched away by Halverson. Final seconds of the 6-on-4. Casey with a shot. Tip save. Rebound kick loose. Near side Hallinan. Out of the box is Grosjev. Another shot. Save made by Halverson. Rebound lifted wide. Thrown up and out of the zone. 27 seconds to go. The Comets have to regroup. Crunch leading by 2. Comets get back ahead. Perron. There you have a couple of guys offside. The Crunch get control. Grosjev has a chance to slow it up. It's sent to center ice and down. Tipped toward the net by Peltier, just wide. He was looking for the deflected hat trick. Down it comes. Utica, one last rush. 7 seconds to go. Hallinan gains the line and shoots tipped high. Off the glass, into the corner. And the Crunch have won it. The Crunch are 5-0 this year against the Comets. It's a 5-3 victory. Brandon Halverson with 37 saves. He was terrific for the Crunch tonight. One of his best games of the season. I know he's got a couple of shutouts, but he was terrific all night. And he faced 17 in the third period and stopped them all as he helps nail down the Crunch victory tonight. 5-3 is the win for the Crunch. Brandon Halverson was great. I don't know if he'll be one of the stars tonight, but if I was picking the 3 stars, he would be one of them. He was great. He bailed the Crunch out a couple of times throughout the course of the night as the Crunch get the 5-3 victory here this evening on Hockey Fights Cancer Night at Upstate Medical University Arena. That's a big-time win for the Crunch as they close out the W. With that win, Price Chopper is crunching out hunger, and Price Chopper will provide 200 meals to the Food Bank of Central New York. For each home win throughout the course of the season, it's 200 meals to the Food Bank of Central New York, courtesy of Price Chopper Cares, as they crunch out hunger. 3 stars tonight brought to you by Surfside Ice, Tea, and Vodka, as we stand by for the 3 stars this evening. Again, I don't know if Brandon Halverson will be one of them, but in my book he is. He was really sharp tonight for the Crunch. All right, standing by for the 3 stars, and then we'll get on our way for the post-game show. I'll have to hustle down for our post-game jersey auction. The number 3 star had a big-time insurance goal in that third period. Mitchell Chafee, a goal and an assist tonight. He is your number 3 star. Well-deserved for Chafee. He won a couple of big face-offs for the Crunch as well. They didn't win a lot of them tonight, but he won a couple big ones for the Crunch. Wojtek Stachowiak is your number 2 star this evening. Another goal and an assist for him as he extends his scoring streak to 3 straight games with a goal. And the number 1 star with another multi-point performance, including 2 goals and the game winner, Jacob Peltier is your number 1 star tonight as he helps the Crunch earn a 5-3 win over the Comets. Those are your 3 stars brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka. All right, I think the players are going to hustle this auction tonight, so I got to get out of here. We'll talk to you on Thursday when the Crunch are back in action against the Cleveland Monsters. For all of us at the Syracuse Crunch, I'm Lucas Havali saying so long for now. Here's Eddie McCarthy with the postgame show.
Thank you, Lucas. Normally when we're on the road, I say safe trip home. Tonight, I'll say safe trip down the stairs. You've got an auction to run as Lucas will take off to do that. And I'm with Lucas. Jacob Peltier, absolutely deserving of being the number 1 star. Peltier, Stachowiak, and Chafee, all fine picks, but Brandon Halverson, really fantastic tonight. It almost feels wrong not to include him in the 3 stars of the game list. Final shots on goal in that third period, 17-3. Utica had the advantage. They outshot the Crunch 40-21 tonight. Shots on goal presented by Nave Law Firm. We'll step away for a moment. When we come back, we'll break down the highlights, and you can listen to how it all went down. The Crunch win it tonight, 5-3 over Utica. Back with more right after this on our Syracuse Crunch postgame show here on ESPN Radio.